pokupi i on i već jedan frag za sebe, nastavlja ovdje Apex da pravi probleme, dobar za svoj triple kill, ali su to sve ili samo Širo koji ima kukli style na kraju, ni plant. Sjajno, opet tu više živih igrača, pritom tu i neka MP9 uspela da pokupi fragove.
Da, jedan hero kalaš, da je Spirit imao novca pa bi možda bilo drugačije jer su prevarili Vitality. Iako je tamo Mezi video samo jednog na midu uz flash Robsa, ipak je i Zaivu pomislio da treba pomoć ekipi prema mid B. Ovako su nekoliko navrata prevarili igrače Falconsa također. Fejkovali split B, zapravo išli kraće. Ipak naoružanje je bilo previše slabo. Širo, AWP u rukama, sada bi trebalo da može da počne. Je strana za Spirit.
Vidimo, samo da se ne završi pre nego što počne. Zaivu, jako agresivan na ovoj strani. Sreće njegov pa ima podršku Mezija, doduše ovaj Mezijev ugao. Da, okej, ovaj smok će na kraju pa više učiniti posao, učiniti uslugu Zaivu nego što će mu odmoći. Zaivu i dalje jako agresivan, Donk, na kom se tajmingu on javlja zajedno sa Cvem, eto tog flasha, pravi korak je, sve to čuje Mezi, on će morati da se izlači ili samo da se gasi.
Mislim da će se izlačiti posle tog smoka, 2 nida za lover, Donk.
Ovo isto radila ekipa Falconsa.
Pada na 17 helta, sve mi ovo deluje kao dobra priprema Vitality, sećamo se kako su stajali na pištolci, sećamo se kako su i koji tajming hvatali na midu u prvoj full buy rundi, a sada ova postavka između Mezija i Zaivua, rekao bih također govori da su oni otprilike vrlo dobro svesni šta to Spirit ima da ponudi. Zaivu malo promašio tajming.
Sreća za Šira. To je C4 i snajpera, Širo je utrčao taj ugao, potpuno nesvesno. Još jednom će se Spirit vratiti da napada na drugu stranu. Flames u njegovom i Apexovom stilu da se proveri ispred Longhouse-a. Pitao koracijama kao da se izlači. Smoke za split bez sajta i split bez sajta je opcija definitivno.
Da, Svej, ovoga puta je mid B smoke tu, igrači sa sajta nisu ni blizu da pomognu, ovo će se pretvoriti u split B definitivno, ne znam da li je ovo Spirit planirao, ali vidi da imaju otvoren put ka B sajtu, Mezi ima Molly i nade kod sebe, ne može da ih koristi, samo Kalaš kome može mu pomogne i pomoći za jedan frag.
Donka za Robs, oj, to ne baš, već nam dolde.
B split za prvu rundu.
Šta je ovaj frag Knira, doduše treba napomenuti, Knir je to sve radio sa jednim jedinim helpom, da je tu pokupio frag, ako se ne varam, Robs, sigurno da bi rešio i Donka, s obzirom da je Donk imao nekih 17 helta, tako da bi to bila definitivno nešto lakša opcija, ali i Chopper i Shiro su se tu potrudili da odrade svoj posao, pa su oni na svojim frontovima također pronašli po frag, jedan dočekao rotaciju u CT, drugi dočekao čoveka na top midu, Biće to prva za Spirit, jako bitno, prva full buy runda kori Spirita.
Iskreno, ova runda je skoro izgledala filmski za Spirit, gde Donk pada na malom health i onda ne može mnogo da radi i mora da lurkuje, što njemu nije prirodna pozicija, ali Donk i bez fraga je pomogao ovdje u mnogome turniru.
4-1.
Jer ako podigne glavu, Rob zna catch ugao, dobit će metak. Nateran da sluči u mestu.
Hela borišemo, ne? Ali kisod utrema. Faze, ja što ne bio da lidim.
Donka, igrač je u snajperskoj poziciji.
Shiro krpujete. Shiro miss. Shiro da miss. Donk mi kigujete. Prestrel da ići na automata. Indo Rob sotko da prestrel hala. Flames je, bol, informacija vali što rade ići mi oko. Če šut u njide. Šut harešada, B harešada. Zaivu ne može školi Bikor da ligim Bikor. Lopes zakinele da mitte nam klipić mit. Через mid mi nežem mogu. Mitke vješte. Donka da opet maca i op. Flames i Joker razlike dote.
Pogledaj koliko samo otvoreno igra Robs, mid B smoke je već uveliko bio i prošao. Oni mogu da splituju B. Sa sajta Robs igra po B sajtu kao da niko još ne dolazi i potpuno je u pravu. Flames, Senka će mu ovdje pomoći, eto je vrh puške.
Flames i jače.
Flames, koliko je strpni
Gledaj mi. Flames i Shiro za midne grubo gleda. Je. Lopes kututukte, Lopes informaciju. Informacija bao što midne ne od tamo se. Sfär. Tolik. Ekonomik damage. AWP yok. Zayıflamadı. Zayıfını hattaz. Zayıfını hattaz. Zayıfını şöyle de bak.
Pa nekih 3 na 3, pa da pokušaš sa Flamesom koji je ispušao top mid, ali ništa od toga. Apex, da li je ostalo nešto iza Chopera, nije, pošto je Flames to već sve pokupio od Spirit. Nije još u poziciji da juri protivnike, tako da mislim da i neće. Iće do duše 2 vezane runde, Vitality je u blagim problemima.
Nije očekivao ovo od Niri, ne možemo da mu zamerimo. Jako agresivna pozicija gore Flamesa ka top midu, najbitnije da je Flames preživeo. Ecstasy taj koji će se javiti, mini serija Spirita, i želi ovdje Ecstasy da porazgovara sa svojim saigračima. Se možda malo, žargonski rečeno, spusti lopta.
Biće za novi full buy Vitalitya, ali će morati CT strana da istroši sve svoje novce. Kao što rekoh, u uvodne 4 runde ovog dasta delovalo je kao da Vitality ima jako dobar osjećaj. Sad to Spirit ima spremno na dastu. Pa da vidimo da li to mogu još jednom da upotrebe. Da li priprema meča ima rešenje za rundu 7. Ovako je sve počelo. Ovaj play za Ibu je došao nakon što je Flames još jednom uzeo dosta agresivnu postavku, pa ne znam baš da li je bilo preko potrebno. Za Ibu je osetio prostor, ali Cvej je bio sjajan u rundi 6.
Ti misli Cveju nije uopšte odluku pažnju to što fališe čovjek po njemu iz CT-a, uopšte se nije obazirao na to, on je samo razmišljao da raširi ka sajtu, zato je uhvatio onako, pa, u teoriji jednostavno Rops za duše, Rops je tu zaposlao i na Donka, Donk je tamo preživao na 2. Čini se kao da su Donki širo zainteresovani da brzinski kontaktiraju ovde B-side. Šta kaže Rops?
Zanimljivo od Ropsa. Rops je zabacio flash za tunel i to je sve. Rops kao da ih mami da krenu ka B. Sada kada su zabacili Molotov za site, Rops i dalje ne želi da spusti nikakvu bombu, a pritom je jedini B. Robin Cool igra ovo na mnogo hrabrosti. Spirit gleda, tunel je prazan, nije blokirano i dalje ne žele da krenu napred. Da li će skupiti hrabrosti? C4 kupit Nir ide okolo.
Da, to je to.
Misle da će oni Ropsa napadati, ali šta ako oni krenu napred, Rops spusti smoke, izgleda od toga nema ništa, Rops mora M-kom da brani sajt pod
full kontakt, ili će biti nekog flasha, Nir ima samo molotov kod sebe, šta kaže Rops, katastrofa timing, vidjet će jednog, prevlači na drugog. Dobar Cvej još jednom da traduje, da uradi svoj posao. U najgore mogućem timingu se uhvati ovde Rops za smoke, za Ivu, kroz vrata, Chopper, hitna pozicija, sjajna reakcija Flamesa i Apexa. Ovo je poziv za retake, svojke.
Ovo je poziv za retake, ali da li se treba javljati, pošto Vitality nema ništa para, a B-site nije lako retakeovati. Shiro odlučio je da se zabarakadira u B-site, smokovaće i tunel, tako da sada više igrači Spirita nemaju gde. Drže se sajta i to im je sve. Iz tunela dolaze dvojica, ispred B-site dvojica. Za Ivu nema nikakvu utility da baci, Apex ima neke bombe, idu li kroz smoke tunela, izgleda da čekaju da fejduje.
Da se čekaju da fejduju Shiro, mora neko da pokupi kontakt na drugoj strani, poletuje flash, jajan Shiro za svoj double kill, čekali su ovde flash da padne, ali leđima je bio okrenut Dimitri i ostade je samo za Ivu zajedno s Apexom da sačuva, oni su trebali ispred B-sajta da prave kontakt, sviđa mi se ideja, ali Shiro je to pročitao.
Viš koliko je često IQ Chopper. Ušli smo u B-site. Verujem da smo pobedili rundu, ja ću da umrem mid, oni će da pomisle da retakuju, ostaće bez naoružanja i onda imamo još jednu rundu, Chopper je next level. Naravno, malo se šalim, ali na kraju je ispalo zaista tako, Chopper je pao, ubedio ih da imaju šansu 4 na 3, a šanse zaista nije bilo. Rops, svaka čast, što on ovde ne odustaje od svoje ideje i ne spušta smoke, ali da je spustio smoke samo malo ranije, možda bi im potpuno pokvario plan, ipak je drugačije čitanje igre imao Robin Cool i nije se isplatilo. 4-3, Vitality će dokupiti, to je Robin Cool koji troši svoje pare, imaju sačuvani snajper, sačuvani kalač kod Apexa i samo 2 pištolja, Donk odlači u pažnju igrač sa mida da bi se možda aktivirao čovjek na kraćem.
Jel ima bežanija ovde za Ivu, malo se izudarao sa zidovima. Dobre. Pobegao je ovde za Ivu, ne smoke da skoro Donk, pa da je malo požurio, možda bi bilo fraga. U svakom slučaju, posljednji put kad su ove dve ekipe sastale na dastu, bilo je jako malo požurio, možda bi bilo fraga. U svakom slučaju, posljednji put kad su ove dve ekipe sastale na dastu, bilo je jako gusto. 6-6 prvo polovreme, 6 rundi za nijansu, bolji Spirit i triumfovo 13-11. Ovde za Ivu, da li će dočekati, čini se ne. Ćemo napraviti problem, ne, neverovatno. Meni je nemoguće da čovjek ovoliko agresivan.
Da.
Apex, Bejke
to
to.
celu godinu
Zapravo
ovoliko puta long
da,
house.
Infobjegda.
najnevjerojatnije je koliko on
Fakti
to radi,
infobjegda.
evo već rundu za rundom i nikoga ne kažnjava s druge strane. Jer posle
Još jedan.
drugog puta pomisliš sad će me čekati.
Ma da.
Ali Flames ima mnogo hrabrosti za Evu. Mid bez smoke, da li on prolazi kroz ovo? Da. Ovo malo podsjeća na Monesija i njegove pleve protiv G2, ali mid mu za sada niko neće doći, ja to kažem, stiže Chopper,
Chopper da mi spizde, Chopper da mi
Ovo da promaši za Evu, ali bez
Zevu da mi
ima dobro
Zevu.
sad sa prozora da mu pomoći boljim naoružanjem. Prvi mu se provukao, pada flash, Amplifier tira, još jednom Belorus radi dobro kao Donk, također dobri za Frag u istom momentu. Donk je ostao tamo da može duboko CT-u, Donk se suočio sa Zaivuom, a Zaivu ima AWP, treba napomenuti. Tako da svaka čast, verujem da bi totalno drugačije bilo da je tamo uspeo prvog čoveka da vidi Mezi i da je tu Apex uspeo da pronađe Chopper, ali šta bi bilo kad bi bilo Spirit vraća. Spirit ima egal, ovo je neverovatno.
Ovaj odgovor je trebao Spiritu, da se ne odlepi Vitality na preveliku prednost, da se ne nadoda sve to na onako izgubljen miraž, pa da Spirit potone. Ovaj odgovor obećava Apex, kao da ga mame pucaju ovaj AWP koji Apex verovatno želi. Najbolje bi bilo kada bi sačuvali i Kalaš i AWP, za Kalaš će Flames morati sam da se pobrine i uspeo u tome, ali Apex je pao, osim ovog velikikova, nema više ništa, novca dovoljno, zaboravio sam da je ovo ipak bila Hero MK Ropsa, bit će novi full buy za Vitality, ali bit će i prilika za Spirit da povede prvi put na dastu.
Da, i baš zašto je bila Hero MK za Ropsa, to znači da će Ropsa imati na oružanju, s obzirom da je Flames ovdje poživao.
Fakt očekivali, mogu se očekivali Mezi da to.
Za Spirit, pardon.
Sejvu.
Ovdje Donk rešio, da li ovdje Zevu stigao dopali, to je također dobro pitanje. Nema šta navijači Vitality, ja verujem da nisu najsrećniji sa makar kako trenutno teče ovo, ali nema šta, Spirit pokazuje da je tu, da je spreman da se pobije brzo, Donk napred, izbjegava jedan, drugi flash. Već uvelik uspio da se domogne Faze, sada već uvelik u ovoj borbi.
Donk bi Faze.
Spirit u duše, Flames i Apex zainteresujem se još malo pobiju.
3 milione kite, Donk minus 1 najviš Faze.
Dobar damage, ali prepušteno duže. Ovu situaciju još nismo gledali.
Čujete.
Apex rizikuje što ostaje u kolima, oni imaju molotove, jedan upravo poleće za njega, saigrač će ga gasiti, zapravo ne, smog za pola dužeg, moja greška. Tako da svakako Apex je na sigurnom. Moglo bi da krene i neko rafalanje prema kolima, Spirit. Da li čekaju da smoke fadeuje ili idu kroz ovo, razbijaju smoke, Apex, video je skok šira, sada i definitivno kreće rafalanje ka kolima, ali Apex je kupio vreme, to je ono što je ova pozicija i trebala da obezbedi.
Ajde sad pitanje, je li ide Spirit napred ili će se okrenuti na drugu stranu, znači oni utility da, ali pada novi smoke za... To također možda pravi razliku, shvata Apex, da je smoke u najmanju ruku katastrofa. To je dobro pitanje, Apex uspeva u duelu in-game lidera da dnese entry frag.
Širo je uhvatio makar na trenutak liniju i...
Širo za igrač, tu je pregledam.
Koliko tvrdoglavog Apexa treći put izlazi na sve dužeg. A sada ima i Zaivua koji ga koliko toliko pokriva snajperom, Zaivua koji će biti u problemu. Apex dobro zapravi, Zaivu pokriva duže, Cvej je uzeo frag u lurku. Ali mora još mnogo toga, ide Cvej, vide Apexa u kolima, Apex ne odustaje od ove pozicije. Tačnije sada ni nema gde, Širo sa AWP-a prelazi na Kalaš i pada na dugo. Apex ne da nikome da prođe preko dužeg. Rob dobija frag na tacni. Kapiten za 5-4.
4 molotova je dobio kar. 4 molotova je čovjek dobio kar i nije odustao te pozicije. Na kraju je stigao da otpeši oko smokova, sve mu je kolovo da se on uvukao uskroz tamo onaj najdublji ugao, zato je Širo nije očekivao da će Apex tek tako nonšalantno raširiti, a onda kao što si ti napomenuo, Robs konačno stiže u igru. Još bitnije je to što je Zaivu tamo uspio da pronađe frag na kratkom, pa nije bilo više nikoga ko im preti Samida. Cvej je uspio da traduje, ali opet to nije neka problematika bila s obzirom da Apex sve to jako dobro uspio da izoluje. Tvrdoglavo od Spirita, ali kaže Vitality, ja sam najtvrdoglaviji, kaže Apex, ja sam najtvrdoglaviji i to je moja runda. Pa napomenuti, ovo je u prvih 10 rundi gde Hali ostaje već na jednoj jedinoj taktičkoj pauzi.
Da, možda opet da se smire strasti jer sigurno da nije lako kada Apex solo skoro prokvari planove protivniku.
Apex koji rešava Donk.
Da, ima i toga. Ponovo vodi Vitality. Pregrš novca ima Spirit, to neće biti problem, pa možda ni za do kraja halfa. Ja to kažem, ali 6.000 ima Širo, a mi imamo 3 runde do kraja poluvremena. Vidi, pomenuo si, 6-6 half, posljednji put kad su igrali Dust ove dve ekipe. Možda i nije nemoguće.
Ajde da vidimo. Vitality kad bi uspjeli da vežu 3 runde, da oni imaju half koji imao Spirit na svojoj mapi, sjajno bi bilo. Timing će ovdje igrati Flames i Apex. Bilo kakav korak, bilo kakav zvuk i ne mora korak i zvuk, da, evo ga sada zvuk, eto ga flash. Uhvatit će to Donka, više nego dovoljno. Slušaj, Chopper ga je pogodio u glavu jako rano. Da će to ipak biti entry za Spirit na inicijativu Vitality.
Donk je prošao, Apex kao da to ne zna. Idemo ispred Molotova Donki, neće ga pojuriti. Ne želi ni Donk da uleti možda u neki Zaivu sniper koji je na sajtu, ali trenutno gleda duže. Zanimljiva ideja Vitalitya da se uhvati taj među tajming između Molija. Da naštete i uspore napad Spirita, ali neće proći. Sada igraju duplu odbranu ka midu, a sajt je na izvolte, ali Spirit to ne može da zna.
Da, previše Tnira ovde paranoičan, iako je pao Flames i dalje ga je strah da se neko ne provlači. Napravio je jedan korak, 2 smoka doleću, Apex i Mezi su spremni apsolutno na sve, pa čak i na ovo. Apex ovde pokušava da izbrituje za Mezija, toga Molotov će ovde pasti, Mezi u zapotovu, Rob tako izgleda da izbuši čoveka. Zaivu će morati mnogo toga da uradi, oni su svoj flash iskoristili, Zaivu, Frag, Bežanije, ima Headshot ugao. Može dalje da poživi, neće odraditi sjajan posao, a da ovde tiru na glavu, Apex se kreće kao mačka oko samog sajta, nisu ga ovde čuli, Headshot ugao, nije nastavio da pravi probleme, Apex čeka ovde neku podršku, ima podršku u vidu snajpera, može i neki visoki flash da poleti, Apex će se odmah aktivirati širo, pogađa na kraju Zaivua, sve dovršava Apexa, može samo da čuva, Spirit ima novi egal.
Delovalo da je Apex još jednom pročitao, imali su postavku na midu, tu su napravili problema kada je Mezi ishvatio da oni penju prema Xboxu. Zaivu je bio tamo, onaj smoke koji je Apex pustio u rotaciji je pomogao i Zaivu da poživi, da uhvati neki defanzivni ugao i Apexu da dođe do spusta, a kada je dobio po glavi od Tnira i preživeo, mislio sam to je to. To je to od ove runde, Rob će im malo zagorčati slavlje. AVP je na CT-u, vredili to pokupiti za Zaivua, rekao bi da, eto ga sniper za sledeću rundu, 5-5.
Kakav tajming je izvatio Rob, se ne mogu da verujem.
Sada za pik.
Njih dvojica su se razmijevali puška.
Economic game's good.
I on je raširio.
Economic game's good.
Ali da, ovaj flash i bravo za Donka, on je shvatio
Safe lolly bude.
Chopperov pogodak, da. Chopperov pogodak u glavu kroz ivicu zida koji je omeo Flames, a onda i da ga dovrši. A ovaj pik Cveja, vrlo verovatno i pobednički. Ne mora ovo nerviranje ako se već runda pobedi. Ali mogu da
Bustovani su, stigla je prijava Zaivua, može on ovo i da wallbanguje, viđali smo i to od Matioa ranije, ne usuđuje se da pikuje u šira, ja kažem, a on je upravo to i uradio. Da li ima i nekog razbijanja smoka, ima Zaivu nade kod sebe, dobit će još jedan, na top midu nema nikoga, jedan se promašaj, Zaivu napališu ga to, ne odustaje od duela.
Bravo za Donka, sviđa mi se, jako manji broj fragova, sa Apexom, precizan Apex, ali ne dovoljno da pokupi frag, bravo za Mezija, on bi mogao da pronaći Donka, pa Donk je stavio na njemu na moment. Ne, okej, isti posao.
Mezi.
Promači se, Donk je spreman i na ovo, Daniel Kriškovec sam da pobedi rundu. Ili, ajmo da vidimo, oni će udariti na kraju na Robsa, da shvati šta se dešava, ipak se sužava krug oko B-sajta.
On je čuvar B-sajta, pa sve i da ga nađu. Ovde je sada bitno da se neko žrtvuje za rundu, a Chopper će biti taj, ne moraju više dolaze B. Robs je dovoljno opasan, dovoljno respekta treba dati Robinu Kulu, ide već bomba polako na drugu stranu. Donk nije mnogo toga uradio na Dastu do sada. Tek njegov 6. frag uz ovaj triple kill, 2 od prethodna 3 fraga, znam da su bili oni deagle fragovi, ali prva njegova runda, da tako kažemo, išao je na duel protiv Zaivua, pobedio isti, ukrao snajper i ajde, dobio AVP i onda pogodio još 3 puta. Spirit vodi.
Kakav kisa osmeh ovde ekstaza. Vodi Spirit, imaće priliku čak i za velikih 7 i još jednom da preokrenu half u posljednjem momentu. Odlično otvaranje za Vitality, ali pokazuje Spirit da im je psiha ekstremno jaka i na onaj način izgubiš prethodnu mapu, ova se otvori sa 4 runde deficita, ali Spirit je na korak do preokreta. Sreća pa je Robs onaj put čuvao na oružanje, Zaivu nije morao nešto mnogo da ulaže, da će opet i ovaj full buy biti. Čini se više nego korektan za ekipu Vitality-a, ovih 6-6 bi im bilo zlata vredno.
Teemat çıkan kill çalışken.
Ma bravo.
Kakvi fragovi ovde, flik na dole i onda i frag na Robsu. Robsu tu opet nešto motao oko B vrata, mislio opet hvata neki tajming za frag više, za ekonomski damage ništa od toga. Širo, boost, ovoga puta samo prema loveru, da li neko ulazi tamo ili ne. Vitality zapravo ima za dobar full buy, mislim da je Vitality u mnogo gore poziciji od ovoga. Znači ponovo AVP, makar to bio Glass Cannon, Zaivu i Flames A, trojica B, to je Ekstazova i Apexova ideja za poslednju rundu prvog halfa. 3B u nadi da će Spirit doći tamo.
Okreće biti Apex. Nezi tu da motrika midu. Duše već smo vidjeli
Što
u
je
više navrata
işte.
koliko je Spirit bio aktivan kao shot.
Tekli želgen nije zvolom modi.
Ali će ovo to biti slučaj. Više igrača ka midu, sve u svojoj standardnoj poziciji tu da pravi buku. Na tajming je ovdje Rob zabacio smoke za tunele. U slučaju da neko hoće na tu stranu da kontaktira, da zablokira bilo kakav pokušaj. Širo je taj koji će dočekivati neku agresiju oko mida, ali makar sada nema ništa od toga veliki problem za divuje, pošto on ovdje ima gaskenu. Tako da njemu neki molotovi i nejdovi prave mnogo veći problem nego što je to inače slučaj. A Spirit je odlučio, Spirit će napadati short, totalno su promašili igrači Vitalitija.
Totalno promašili, ali ostavili su jednog i to kojeg da motri na kraće. Ništa nije nemoguće sa Zaivom do duše. Ako bude ostao u ovoj poziciji na spustu, vrlo lako će se desiti da dobije molotov. Leševe će dobiti, to je sigurno, a vrlo verovatno i ona dva prilazna smoka. Malo tu Zaivu da pomogne i Meziju, da mu prijavljuju da li se nešto dešava ka midu ili ne. Chopper, evo ga drugi od dva smoka. Jedan jedini.
Short crash.
Da. Flash je dobar, prvi, prošao, drugog upecao.
Zaivu taj.
Nastavlja da flash, ali se previše otvorio ka kraćem šire, stigao da uhvati liniju. A Flames je jako agresivan, koliko dobro to čita Cvej, strpljivi ovdje Cvej, sviđa mi se. Ovo ipak radi malo iskusnije, potražit će ga ovdje Flames i to bi moglo da bude razlika. Bravo za Flames, za to će biti 4 na 2 retake za ekipu Vitality, javio se knji Roxy brz na tradu. Širo mora da sam rešava ovo sve, sa mnogo strana ga napadaju, prvi metak će promašiti Flames, na kraju dobar za svoj double kill.
Biš, okite nam dočke.
To je bilo i posljednji put kad su se ove dve ekipe sastale na rastu. Kratka pauza pa se vraćamo.
Revolucionarni i inovativni telefon sa 1xBet botom. Uz 1xBet bot
Altı oldu mu? Altı oldu. Altı oldu. Yolda. Şimdi 5 vakit faydalanın. Şimdi doğru valide. Signale, kiralıyor signal.
If I were to tell you that in the face of 2025's #1 team, Donk was 1-5 in opening kills, and yet here we sit.
Ban oldu bugün hiç translate'samız. Ban oldu. What the? Skill. Çarlar.
Vitality with a strong start, but Donk starting to pick up the pieces towards the end of that first half.
He's the best Dust 2 player in the world, but today he has a team. You're not beating the best Dust 2 team in the world without that spirit. So it's great they showed some credit to Zway, credit to Zanir for some rounds.
İkinci pistoletli round. Temini buldu. Oldu. Zaivu. Şiro hazır.
They made up for
Formacji yok.
winning a pistol here on Dust 2. Let's see if they can follow a trend and make it 2.
Vitality were
Nima
able to
bo'ladi?
survive the test.
Navi
Losing
to'plik
the
nima bo'ladi?
pistols on Mirage. Can Team Spirit do that if
Flamesy underdan ketyapti. Mana. Relax life kimidi o'zi?
here on the catwalk? Is this a read for Spirit?
Yeah, heavy Hallie's prep in some of these positions. So like with Spirit games lately, you are seeing it for sure.
Dong pick qiladi. Va hech kim yo'qligini bildi va shuni eshitdi. Bitta bor odam. Bo'ldi yopildi. Chopper ochadi. Razvi smoke bo'ladi. Bu yerda Ziv. Voy. Ziv ikkidan o'ldirdi, lekin bu yerda
They run at it.
Team Spirit to'rtta odam olib bosibdi. To'rtta o'ynani qaraydi. Bo'ldi.
They ran his ass down, and that's what they did the entire way through. Even though they went for that cat play with the flash from Chopper, he also had an HE in his back pocket, ready to crack open the mid B smoke in case that was the
Oyun slishim cho'zib.
the setup's way here. And for Shiro to push out the door, fully committing to the crunch, knowing his team is running through, that's the conviction that's going to get you around like this.
Donk. İşte kildi.
Yeah, that's exciting for Chopper. That's a plan coming to fruition exactly as you'd expect.
It's nice to see that setup have like 2 layers.
It's plan B, exactly, and you know, you've got to have that. You've got to stay flexible, as Blade likes to say.
Eğer bunu
Wow.
Navi ütse ki Urpas kurarız. O yani spek koçum. Pas koçum. Online translation.
This is the first time.
Eko. Bitti mi halini? No Eko yemez. Почти bitti Apex. Da bu. Не можно, çünkü o support.
T-sides can absolutely fall flat.
Especially in the face of a well-oiled Team Spirit, because right now I just can't help but think back to Sway versus Falcons as this anchor, right? That was an evolution in his gameplay.
Başkan koyup
Please hit this.
olup gideceğim razı.
Just
Bu fakt dışına olup gideceğim razı.
It's hard to hit Donk. Kid moves quick.
He doesn't stop moving. Yeah. He's like an electron bouncing around. He's Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy Electron. J Electronica.
Oynayıp gideceğim razı başka yer.
He's ready if Vitality think they can press their issue up through catwalk.
Kuş çık. Kuş. Kampanı kurdu.
Saiwu.
Action's about to happen.
Yeah, trying to get the scout shot in. Nothing whatsoever. Total crush of the cat attempt. Apex with a Glock on long. Yeah, it's not long for this world. Easy conversion here for Spirit.
And a deadpan Extaz in the background just waiting because, you know, this one was supposed to be a wash. A plant would have been wonderful, but there's no way they were going to give that up easily. Two-round gap. There won't have to be any investments. I will get an op this round. Oh, no damage on the cross.
İnformasyon var. İşte böyle.
Also,
Orada.
maybe doesn't want to shoot early. Not,
Çok
not,
oldu.
not just for damage.
Sure.
Nada başlıyor bir tane. Yoğan iş gibi.
Don't waste it on a Hail Mary through the doorway. Donk. Oh, commits to the spray. It's 80 damage in on Flamesy. It's enough to deter the follow-up immediately for Vitality. Flamesy wants to control guns because Apex still needs one.
I feel like there's been a few plays in this game where it's Donk who dies of 2 players who could, and that's been should be costly for Spirit, but his team has bailed him out. Well, here's a spot they trade Way. Kind of works out better for Donk. I mean, Flamesy's health is almost not serviceable in this spot. He had an off okay, but 19 health as a rifler, that's definitely a huge disadvantage. So no shade to Sway. He was great in B last time.
Через midoniydi. Başka ilacı yok. Bir ne yapar? Bu yolda çok belli patsat verilgan. İşte eğer midde smoke bunu yoksa patsatdan çıkıp qaraydi. Granata. Flames oldu. Трахачковый. Burada informatsiya bor. İşte bu. Shot bo'yicha informatsiya bor. Chunki bittasi oldu. Uchida beradi. Uchida rasket bo'ladi.
So now utility over top. He'll try to poster.
Oy,
Engineer is flushed out of his corner,
yondu.
but I hear that.
Oh, he's flushed all the way out.
And that's fine. They've got ramp control at 20 seconds. It's a wounded Shiro standing in front of him, but there's the support on the scene. Chopper attacks from behind.
What is this?
Oh, wait, the recovery's real.
Киева.
A jumping kill.
What the fuck? Киева.
Oh, Donk. Yo, this is the chance out.
Koydu bombanı.
Still goes back
Burada donk 29%'ga
Two kills to Donk's name. We've got the head-to-head between the two players we always want to see clash. Zywoo in the cover.
Oh, he covered it.
Fires off the cannon and Donk will hit the ground.
The full wide swing 1 mile out. And Zywoo's ready for it.
Vitality
Shutting down
Östeteizin otigi de Navi oyununu boşlasın.
Yeah, Chopper climbs up, frazzles everybody on the bomb site.
Yeah, he's trying to freak people out, but he just had a FAMAS.
This nade to kill Flamesy made it feel like that cat push was going to kind of hit a brick wall. They flushed Tanir onto the ramp and
Öyle
Tanir
deyip
and Shiro really couldn't get any
Yusuf'a
kind of
bugün
defense
80
going. Much more
topu
so
olaydı.
Chopper
Donk'tan
catching them
koydu.
off guard that
Donk'tan
kept
şans
Spirit in
olaydı
that
çok.
momentarily.
There's wide swings and then there's that.
Shiro'yu diyor adam ya. Shiro smoke taşıp gitti.
Great chance here for Vitality.
Yeah, you've got Chopper in a similar place to where Apex started his last round. Oh,
Oh my goodness.
little flying Mac 10 action.
Vay
Missed
Shiro.
on
Miss.
No recovery.
Shiro miss bir yerime buldu. Dinle.
Vitality just stomping on your beat.
Dinle
That's a
kurbanı.
good one from Flamesy. I feel like there's a jumping icon on every single one of his kills. They get the op down. They suffer no damage whatsoever. The CTs will not be able to bring this back. Massively successful position now.
Pişti adam Sait'te. Pişti adam.
Two good rounds for
Pişti adam
Vitality.
bitti. Kete yok açmalar mesela. Kete yok açmalar.
Where it's like the player with the most amount of flying frags is Flamesy. And that's just not a surprise.
İyi.
A specialist in those kinds of
Zor donk
aggressive
olur işte.
sudden pops.
Ekonomik
That was
bozuldu
gonna catch Spirit
donkta.
all across the majority.
Yeah,
And we go tight game, 16 rounds
Donkta
in this
ekonomik
match.
bozuldu.
that's such a good angle. That was kind of like a Falcon style B call. Now, the Falcons have been doing so many of those B pops. No mid B at all. Like, obviously, mid B, super popular thing to do. But they're not even worried about a mid lurker, no one up on big box, no one holding long or anything like that. Just 5 tunnels, and it's something that can work. You get to the mouth of the tunnel like this, it's not smoked, then yeah, you can make your way out. Shiro obviously could have caught that walking, but it's very important. Obviously, that Flamesy's running and jumping. Fallen talked about this the other day. He said on T side, like, you know, first guy out. Oh, on T side, first guy down. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
of course, you're gonna just try to pounce. Can Donk do it?
Donk.
No. Oh, Flamesy back to back.
8-9 barlayacaklar. 8-9.
This one just posted, knowing that you've killed the anchor in Sway on the doorway. Zywoo wins this round in mere seconds.
That's a euphoric moment for
Через
Zywoo
мир
and his
неделя
teammates.
чувствую,
Already planning on
чувствую
rushing B.
Zywoo.
That's as good as it gets.
Man, when we go back to that
Shit,
Barrage T side
я
of
не знаю.
Vitality, they look so lost at times. There was no tenacity, there was no pace, there
Kedi var.
was no
Hani
gusto
City
in their
kedi var.
attacks.
Yeah.
And now
TGK
here on
açamız
Dust 2,
var.
it feels like they've shed that gunk that bogged them down
TGK
on the
var.
first bout.
Açamız var.
Yeah, it was like when we got to overtime and everyone just started playing
Right.
a bit
Aldım.
faster.
They
Even though,
got there.
yeah, it felt like Spirit were going to be able to take it.
And now early days on this T side, evidence they're still there. Little look at the bomb site to try to rack up
Kullanamadık
rounds, but
böyle,
this is a
dedim
very
yapayım.
comfortable place for Vitality. 9-8 lead, economy blossoming, 5 players alive, and a
Incredible
B
impact.
bomb site that's just
Donk'e
getting
Donk
bullied.
game kete
You know,
bir
Zai was just collecting 1 or 2 here. It's so much impact though. It's an op shot on the mid cross, guarantees the B play with vision on the doors. Clutch in the last round to deny Donk from winning that retake back on A. Zywoo right now. And
Sıkıntı
Flamesy
vardı
had a
Donk
tougher job
tiltte.
versus Sway and Shiro that last round. This one he knows is a lot easier. He's like, okay, I don't care if I die. I got a lot of teammates. There's no rotation support here to help. Hallie's getting involved.
Rough couple of rounds now for Sway, right? This is somebody who has shown us stability in that B bomb site lately. And so you'd think that that could end up being a key element of their defense again tonight, but you get slammed by a MAC-10 2 rounds ago, wall-banged in the face by Zywoo in the follow-up. It's not like he's doing anything
Seviyede
wrong.
olmuştu.
Yeah, can't blame him for
Turnier'de
that one. He'll have a better gun this time around, but when you start to count him up,
Right.
it's all these B defenses, he's dead.
And
That's
it's
just
like,
the important thing.
It's the
So,
brutality of these rounds going to kind of chip away at his newfound confidence, because it seems to me like the tests are just going to keep on coming towards this B site.
they're trying to make it hurt here.
Falcons may not have been able to break down this B site in the face of Sway.
But it was a mental thing.
Donk asat oyunu attı. Silişim asat oyunu attı Donk.
And Vitality
Sure.
found their mental back on Mirage. They took their beating on the defense, but this is 3 rounds in a row on the attack. Pistol conversion, that's it for Spirit's defense. They've lost their lead, and now pressure up the catwalk.
Whoa.
Flamesy saw that.
He saw a lot. He's gonna corroborate that right now, but he knows also that CT has to leave.
Man, just playing in a sea of
Jump
util.
up good.
Yeah, they just need to stop things because CT side needs to sort of re-arouse suspicion that it could be something else, that they've overfilled new good spots. So they smoke to reset, a pause in the action. Sort of a dead even position. Oh, Donk smoke misses, I think. Bounce back. Doesn't go into the door. Now creates a lurk gap. They're gonna have to not
Informacja
think about that right now.
4. Shot będzie.
Sitting in it. Damn, Shiro down to 40. Oh, and Dropper's gonna go down with nothing. They cracked that wide open.
Whoa.
How did they just get nothing in that hole?
Vitality is going shoulder to shoulder. It doesn't matter what side. This is working out.
Long and both ramp players dead instantaneous, and no save will be allowed on Robin's wall.
Автомат сейф geçken bir işim
Call
yapıyor
out
bunu.
what the next position is going to be. You got the goose molly. There was no op on this round, right?
Shiro just sat over towards ramp.
They just didn't have the money, I don't think.
Team Spirit домой.
Oh, now it gets really scary. (13-11) the last time they played Dust 2, but a streak of T rounds here. That
Team Spirit домой, Team Spirit
it's gonna be
домой,
a little
вот.
bit more one-sided. It's a 2-round game in favor of Vitality. Via Miracle winning on Mirage.
Does he have it? No. 2 M4s.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Tanir getting caught off on long as well. I mean, everything just falling like a house of cards.
And what felt like one instant. And I like that you use, shoulder to shoulder. Vitality, like soldiers, have just signed up to these moves as a group.
They're actually just playing to trade.
Ой, сейф
We've talked about it before, right? When the
Сейф
shortcomings of
удами
Vitality started to
спиздят.
creep into the season, connective tissue between the players was what was under question. Well, right now, 5 fingers of the same hand, yet again. That is something that allowed this team to be #1 in 2025. On the chase to break records. Vitality showed us what greatness looks like in 2025.
Feels like June was so long ago, but lest we rewrite history, you look back on these recent results, and yeah, they're not winning everything, but how are they ever going to do that? They're still making every playoffs, they're still getting to grand finals, and yeah, they're still picking up chips.
And they've had to sit back while rosters made moves to try to defeat you. That's what happens when you're world's #1. Everybody starts swinging at you. And so in one of the most competitive packs of Counter-Strike teams we've had in the modern era, when the quality of Counter-Strike's at an all-time high, Vitality watch their opponents grow.
Машине дымот матч, Apex машине дымот матч. Я смог. Коктейль, блядь, со 100. Ооо. Томата.
This is going to have to be some kind of a miraculous X-Factor moment from Team Spirit, not playing with the kit. Zywoo's got one, Flamesy gives good cover, and that Desert Eagle out of Donk is done after just one. Zywoo's off to make the difference. Chopper, not a 1v3 this time again.
Oh my goodness, this could be good night for Spirit, even though it's just one more round.
Standing on 11.
No ecos back. This Team Spirit exists because of Vitality. On that player break, after Austin, every team scrambled to try to make a team that could take down Vitality, and everyone became a little bit more successful, and they spread the wealth. But here we are, one of those rosters. The roster that won Shanghai and still had to make roster moves. That's how endangered they felt.
İkinci madde, ikinci madde şuttan yiyordu midde.
They have picked up players that have not matured to the level yet of their former lineup and have shown their peaks, but also some valleys, also some inconsistency.
20 bu. Shiro bildi, info bildi.
Players on Vitality. The veterans on this roster.
7 Faze. 7 Faze, 2 tane bu.
These players have all played the biggest stages.
Das da 7 Faze, bir tanesi de ise.
These players have all
This
lifted the biggest trophies.
Tanir has shown massive potential to earn a chance to play at this level, but playing in a major semi, to play on a stage in front of a crowd like this, he's never done it. And he has proved a lot so far this series, absolutely. But when it comes to winning,
Yes,
that
sir.
extra little bit, Spirit, it appears.
Bu ne tutkusu buldu. GG. GG.
Vitality,
Vay smoke atıldı.
they're in a position to close this out. Their game plan has been 4-1, to B, to A, wherever. The best buy so far in response here for Spirit, 2 ops to work with.
Rob seats that flash, no pounce on it from Tanir. Chopper sitting inside of the bomb site. Shiro's gonna have to hit a zinger. Remember this double op setup. Vitality still don't know about it, but the second one's still so far removed. So like you said, 4-1 setups time and time again. Like soldiers, Vitality have marched into these bomb sites and found nothing but success. A different look this time and unprepared again. Chopper sits behind this box. Well, coverage. As Zaiwu prepares himself and Vitality to take
GG.
it to the grand final.
GG.
Another flawless round.
Open save'lerde donk bir adamla şişiyor.
At adjusting to anybody coming out of nowhere. Solid on this op, not missing in the second half. They're crushing Team Spirit. The best way to kill Donk on the CT side is to avoid him. Kill him by defeating his team. Don't give him a chance to play the rounds.
Oynadan
Donk had a team to
kullanayım.
get him
Oynadan.
back into the game in that first half, but now it's a non-factor.
A sign of what maybe Drake could have offered had Vitality taken that fight towards B-side.
Tamam yükseldi.
Boiling over the rim.
Vitality finalde.
They will clear out all of the economy of Team Spirit. They will wash the confidence off of their faces with this 6-round T-side streak. Zaiwu with the tippity
Vitality
top.
finalde. Ben her şeyi o da mis. Tınıram gitti.
This is the best team of the year. But a question today was who was going to be the best player.
We might need another year to find out. This was an incredible map out of Zaiwu.
Well,
Still
unfortunately,
is.
for Team Spirit, this year could end right now, right here. 3 MP9s in the mix. Flamesy gets away with chucking out that Molotov.
Donk 35 kaldı.
A
Donk
little bit of
35
early
kaldı.
pressure to just try to get nades out of Spirit at the start of this round.
3 MP9s to defend their honor. Spirit. Vitality have weaved through and found the easiest path to victory in each of these situations. And the last round, unfortunately, is a clumsy, messy defense.
Bir bomba yiyordu attı.
Everybody on Spirit. Shiro missing a shot.
Şurada adam
Tanir
böyle.
coming up to the A ramp and trying to help him out. That was their best try to hold it. Now they need Vitality to make a mistake. Is that going to happen? We just haven't seen it yet.
Ne bile olmuyor.
A plus CS here on this T side.
They're doing it without majority pistols as well in this series.
Şurada adam bak.
Vitality show us grit and determination.
The defending champions looking to take down the former defending champions.
Nelif 11'de.
Just setting Spirit
Donk
back
yürüyor
into
attı.
that spiral. Rops holds off in the tunnels.
Allah,
And so round
Allah
21
çok
begins
belli.
with a man advantage and long control here for
Çok belli
Vitality.
oldu.
And this kind of a squeeze is going to force
Shiro.
Team Spirit's hands. They will take this fight towards Catwalk. Zaiwu flashed and stuck into the corner. But ramp control taken by Vitality all the while. Zaiwu on the hunt. Mezzi into
So,
the entry.
GG.
His defense crumbles. Sprayed down through smoke. Vitality
Finalde.
will chase the dream of back-to-back major championships because eras come and go, but the greatest ones can be reignited. An ember in the semis. Flamesy steps forth from a low performance on Mirage. Soldiers, Vitality march on.
energy in here is incredible. These moments, these feelings, this is what you play for, right?
100%. This is exactly what I want. It's like you say, it's what we compete for. The best parts, the best moments of our career are in these arenas, and yeah, I'm just so grateful for all these fans in the arena.
Now, we know, we saw you recently against Spirit, so intense, so much back and forth. The same thing happened on Mirage, but at one point, it looked like you guys were down and out. We heard some of the voice comms, you trying to keep the team going, but you, impressively, you were dominating as well, you were holding it back. How important was these moments for you to pull off and to keep the team together when it did seem like you were failing?
Yeah, of course, it's always nice to find impact in the game, and especially in these moments, but yeah, you can never count this team out. I think we've shown it throughout the whole year that no matter the scoreline, no matter how bad of a position we can be in, every individual in this team is so mentally strong that, yeah, we can come back from any position, and I'm just happy today that I could do my part as well.
It all started on Mirage, where you don't play necessarily the best positions, but your performance was insane. I wanted to ask you if you were, you know, in that kind of comeback, so vocal, and you were reading the game, probably having one of the best games out of your guys. So is this something that you really helped them with?
Yeah, it's something I definitely try and focus on a lot, is being the second voice within a team. It's really important that we have someone that can do that. Apex can't do it all by himself, so it's really important that I can help out in doing this, and that's where I also try to find my impact, is keeping the boys confident, keeping everyone with ideas, and trying to, yeah, just give everyone a bit of extra push to keep going in the game.
You were clearly head and shoulders above Team Spirit, especially in gun rounds. This is something that you feel as well on the server, because what you were doing to them, how you were reading them, is something incredible. Was this part of the game plan, or were you just motivated enough to show the reads that they were having?
No, I think today we definitely had a really strong game plan. I think the preparation that we put in, we were very confident going up against Spirit. I think it's always down to individuals. I think if we can't shoot back, then it's always going to be tough going up against the players like Dunk. So I think today we had a really good preparation, really good game plan on both maps, and that's why we were able to stay calm in all these moments and just trust our game plan and trust our executes.
Now, Mezzi, back-to-back major finals for a British player sounds pretty damn good, right? But how much do you want this next moment? How much do you want to be one of the very few teams that can achieve such greatness? And does it feel like it's coming together now at the right time, where the rest of this second part of the year wasn't maybe up to scratch for Vitality?
Yeah, of course. I think a lot of moments throughout this tournament especially is kind of reminiscent of the start of the year, and we're getting very much, like, a lot more confident with each game, and I think today kind of showed it that we're much more in control, we're much more connected as individuals, and yeah, it's insane to have these back-to-back major finals, but of course the job's not done yet. It's no one really cares or remembers the people who came second. We want to make sure that we're there lifting the trophy, and that's our main goal, to finish the season strong.
Brilliant stuff. Anything you want to say to all these guys that are giving you a lot of love right now? It seems like the boos have stopped.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can hear it. It's insane to play in front of this arena. The support is crazy. It's like I say, it's nice to hear a few more cheers today instead of the boos, but we'll take anything. We feed off this type of crowd. We feed off the energy, and yeah, just a big shout out to everyone in the arena. Keep supporting and keep screaming loud, because yeah, we feel the energy.
We feel the energy. We see it all. So Budapest, let me hear it for Vitality and Mezzi!
The best team of 2025 back in a major grand final, and back with a chance to defend that major trophy. It took some incredible resilience on map number 1, let's not lie, but that T side of Dust 2 was super convincing, and now Vitality have the opportunity to put an exclamation mark on the end of what has been a historic year for them, Jacob.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic year for Vitality. It's been a fantastic night for Vitality as well. As you said, that first map on Mirage, that's a map we will remember for a very long time for a lot of different reasons. You had Rob showing up, playing some incredible Counter-Strike. You had Messi keeping them alive. Saivu chimed in as well. And obviously you had a great game of Counter-Strike where Spirit had a lot of honor in as well. Vitality felt the pressure throughout this matchup, but on Dust 2, once we got into the second half, once we got into the buy rounds, it was quite obvious, quite clear who were the better team tonight.
Vitality further cementing their case as the team of the year here with a game plan where it just feels like it doesn't matter if they're having a bad day in the office, any of the individual players, a bad round here or there. Everyone is there to cover. The Apex has talked about it for the last several months, that his team was not necessarily on the same page, that they sometimes were losing themselves in terms of communication. All of that seemed to be remedied here when it mattered most for them in the semifinals.
100%. It's what they've been talking about for so long throughout the second half of this year, right? Sure, it's been quote-unquote lackluster performances from Vitality up until this point, but peaking at the major is exactly what their goal has been. Unfortunately, with winners do sadly come losers. End of the line for Spirit here in Budapest, so let's check in with them.
Spirit have shown that even with changing some players that they can bounce back in this and show their best level. For Spirit right now, this is a very tough moment, especially when it comes to the majors. First of all, commiserations to you, Chopper, on this. I want to talk a little bit about Mirage. 8 map points. It looked like at times you were able to play better than them, but you couldn't call it off at the end. What do you feel affected the team? What was stopping you here?
I guess it was my work like agile to control our team, and I don't do it good today. And also, when situation come closer to clutch situation like 10, 12, and something like that, it was more chaotic situation, and they have more experience than we are maybe, and that's it.
Looking at what happened between the maps, we saw Don get off stage looking very frustrated, very tilted from it all. Can you just tell me what the discussion the team had between the maps, what that was like?
Our coach told us, boys, it was our game. Don't think about this map. Let's refresh. Let's play our T-side, our good Dust 2. Don't focus on last map. We have 2 good maps forward, and yeah, something like that.
It felt like on Dust 2, sadly you were outplayed in some of the gun rounds with it as well. Did it feel like you were kind of playing from behind too much in this game?
Can you repeat, please?
Do you think you were playing from behind too much on Dust 2, like you were struggling to catch back up with Vitality?
I guess here is only 1 round, and you don't have economy, and it's hard play against them, because when it was 2v4 and a situation when it was score 8-6, I guess, first buy. If you want that, it's a easy situation, but sometimes it's happened, and after we don't have economy to catch them, we don't have some utilities to stop, and so many 1-2 mistakes, and it's hard to play sometimes.
Now looking at Spirit as a whole team right now, you've got the best individual player in the world. You bring in Tanir, and then you also have to go through these changes. Way comes in at the same time. You lifted some trophies. You had success in Cologne, a big one as well. How would you describe what you achieved this year as a team and your feelings on it?
I don't know. It was sometimes it was good year, sometimes not. But for this tournament, we don't have a lot of expectation. For us, did playoffs it be great, and we broke the course after 3-0 in playoffs. And I guess it's a young team. When we only 2 or 3 months ago, you guys come for us, Twinner. We have a lot of work to make it better and to work more.
And any final words for the fans and everyone at home?
Thank you everyone for cheering us. A lot of people come here. It's really important for us, because a lot of fans was for Vitality, but we listen all of this. All of you listen, and it really helped us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chopper.
Huge credit for Chopper for giving such insightful words in what is one of the toughest moments, I'm sure, in his whole career. I mean, we saw the frustrations on the face of Donk when you're putting up such strong numbers. You have so many map points, as Banks alluded to, and it still slips through your fingers. And you could be crowned the best player of the year, but you just don't have the biggest trophies to go along with it.
it almost feels unfair that he can win by his own. But at the end of the day, part of the reason why we love Counter-Strike is the fact that it is a team game and you need teammates in order to help you. And obviously, at moments tonight as well, but throughout the tournament, Spirit did play good Counter-Strike. Spirit did look better than what they did look like coming into the tournament. Chopper even said it himself. He encapsulated it by saying that the, I guess, expectations within the Spirit camp was just to make the playoff because they knew that they've been struggling for quite some time. But I fully agree with you, Freya. I can't help to feel a bit sorry for Dong that with such a generational talent that he possesses, the fact that he can show up every single time, the fact that he leaves this major at a 1.57 average rating and still can't make the grand final, what more can you do?
Spirit this season traded theoretical higher ceiling and fragging for a floor, and I feel like what we saw as they bottled Mirage was their floor, where they can go 7 rounds without getting a T-side round that really could have just been easily closed out. And obviously we see the frustrations of Donk. We see that the impact that he had in the server is nearly immeasurable. I mean, it's just simply off the charts. He's shattering records practically every single time he's playing a new big event. And yet, like you said, Pimp, I mean, unfortunately, Spirit just, they're not quite there yet in terms of the teamwork aspects that make a team like Vitality so great and easy to revere.
You said coming into this that you would regard Spirit as the second best team of 2025. Does that still stand with the result in the semi-final? Easily,
easily. I mean, to win Cologne, the only other prestige trophy that really has existed, I mean, at least this year, when it's been actually ZywOo and Vitality that would have won the other earlier two, now with a chance to win another. And on top of that, they've matched Furia's trophy total with 4, and I'm going to take Cologne over Hong Kong or Thunder Pick, or it doesn't even really matter to me. I mean, this has still been a great year for them overall. And even through the adversity, they still put up a fantastic year, which shows that, in my eyes, the core of Holly, Chopper, and Donk, and Shiro, of course, is still strong enough to be an incredibly elite team. You just need to really just iron out all the wrinkles of these little mistakes that go on and the lack of synergy that we sometimes see. Yes. Jacob, you said you weren't sure when Maui made that point. I've given you like 2 maps to have an opinion on this. Are Spirit the second best team of the year, or would you put somebody else above them?
Not definitively. Not for my money. I agree with you. You can make the case for them, but I'd say Mouse is in contention for that one as well. I think Furia, with the way that they were playing.
One trophy.
Yeah, I know, but I know we live in a world, and it's something that we can talk on a podcast about, Mario. But you know, second places actually does matter. You know, when you have a team like Vitality who's dominating 6 months out of the year, we can't just say that, oh, Mouse, you're second,
Navi.
so you suck. That's not really the case. If you're the second best in a year where one of the best teams ever to be assembled in Counter-Strike is dominating, does that make you bad in any sense? So I feel like there's a conversation, there's a discussion to be had. I can't say Spirit are definitively the second best team, but I'll agree that they're in the conversation.
We just got to see one of the many keys to victory for Vitality on this semi-final. What else stood out to you in terms of Vitality just having that more swift uppercut when we moved into the second half of Just 2?
The T side, they barely used any utility to get map control ever. Every single A exec that they went for had so much potency because they were able to molly goose, molly ramp. They had double flashes every time they were scaling. There was always the corner smoke ready for them. And also, I just think the spacing is so much better for Vitality. If I'm being real, that is such a huge difference maker that Spirit were almost just throwing their counter utility in reaction to what was happening, and then it really barely dissuaded Vitality as they were rounding that corner at Cat, getting up towards the A bomb site. Whereas Vitality, they did such a good job of just making sure that they were throwing nades, flashes, spamming the smoke, and so every time the difference was just so clear. Almost you could just take a Cat exec from one half with Spirit and a Cat exec with Vitality on the other, and one just looks clean as hell, and the other just looks like this stringy mess.
I love the timing of that graphic on your screen right there. MVP of the game tonight. Robs had a great showing on Mirage, one of the catalysts behind the comeback, one of the catalysts behind winning the match. Also on Dust 2, doing a good job. Guess what he's just achieved as one of the few players in the entirety of the world? 4 major finals in a row. He was with Faze when they were in the grand final right. Now he's with Vitality back-to-back in grand finals as well. A player like Robs who goes into 4 major finals in a row, that speaks volume to what he contributes with as a player. When he switched from Faze into Vitality, we all knew there was going to be a great signing down the line, but there were people saying, why would you leave a team like Faze who almost won the major in Shanghai? Well, I guess that's why. You just sign Robs, you get into the major grand final.
I don't know whether I'm getting ahead of myself here. Maybe I'm getting into a bit of a romantic angle, but is there a case to be made that, you know, when you join Vitality, maybe you're handing over any keys to MVPs ever, right? Because you've got ZywOo on the lineup. Is there a case to be made that, I mean, depending on what happens tomorrow, Rops could be up there in the conversation?
Oh, it's still open for the taking. I know that Zywoo won all the MVPs this year. Win Vitality were able to take the trophies. However, Rops is right there nipping at his heels. I would argue that he had obviously the better Mirage here and does do more of a team effort. Zywoo was the best player on Mirage. I'm not even going to doubt that for a second, but Rops was still very serviceable on it. But I feel like Mirage is where the difference is made and where Rops is now started to create a conversation.
100%. You know, if Rob continue the level that we've seen so far in this tournament, it's up for debate, no doubt.
That would be so exciting. Just looking forward to Vitality in the grand finals tomorrow. Then obviously best of 5, uncharted territory in terms of majors as well. And to sum up their year, I feel like, you know, Apex saying, fans getting incredibly greedy at times. You know, we're still consistently making semi-finals. I don't know how good they've got it until we take those grand finals away. What does it mean now that they've made it back to the grand final in terms of that era conversation for the year?
Well, I thought we were going to have that one tomorrow, Freya. I mean, the era, it's the E word for a lot of people. But if they win 2 majors in the year, have an entire season of semifinals or better, I don't know how we're not still in it.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens tomorrow. Don't want to start writing the history books before it's actually happened there, but I don't know how we're not in it because LGSK, when they had their era, they arguably did less in that period between their majors.
No doubt. You know, the most consistent team throughout the entirety of the year. I can't remember a team ever in history who's done 16, you know, big LAN tournaments in a row where the worst result was a semi-final. It's crazy to think of. And the first tournament where they didn't do well was the very first one in January with Robs, you know, when he came into the lineup for the very first time. That's to iron out some issues, find some positions. From that moment onwards, it all just clicks. So yeah, I feel like if we have to have that discussion in terms of the era, then one hope.
Maybe we should save that for tomorrow. Any final kind of closing thoughts on the Spirit side of the equation then? Do you feel like this is the roster that will be moving forward into 2026? Does it need a little bit more time to kind of be all gelling together, particularly when we've seen these kind of new look T sides?
Don't sugarcoat it yet. Don't sugarcoat it.
It's difficult because you got Magix, you got Zontix. I would like to see Zontix come back to this roster personally. I feel like he is way more stable of a force on the CT side especially. Yes, we saw the ceiling of Zwei yesterday, but that's one series out of several dozen where I am consistently disappointed. So I would like to see Zontix make a return to the team. I'd like to see him just raise the floor in general. Maybe he doesn't get as many aces his way, but I am going to bet that he's going to get more 2Ks and at least getting a kill and surviving than Zwei. So I'd rather take that.
Yeah, it's up to Zontix, right?
Yeah.
We know that it was for medical reasons, apparently, that he had to step out of the server. Whether he's fit to play, we don't know, but if he is, then I would very much agree. I think Zontix is a player that is missed right now in Team Spirit.
So you're happy with Tanir still staying in the lineup?
Tanir's lurks have looked gradually better. I'm not going to say like he's turned a page or anything like that, but it's just step by step, but day by day. I mean, the last time they played Vitality, I thought he looked really good. Today, maybe not as much, but I'm seeing little signs that he's improving. And in general, I just thought he was the better player before he came to Spirit.
Agreeing with that sentiment?
At the end of the day, whatever Donks want is what you should give him. You know, if he wants to play with Tanir, then go ahead, play with Tanir. If he wants to play with Zontix, play with Zontix. I agree. I think Tanir is getting better. And on Mirage, let's not forget that he was one of the catalysts behind Spirit in the beginning of the game where he was almost clutching 1v3s and actually finding a lot of impact. I think Tanir has more potential than Zwei. So yeah, in my imaginary world, you know, get Zontix back, maybe give Zwei another stint on another team to mature a bit, and then let Spirit cook for 26.
So Donk, best player in the world and also general manager of Spirit, according to Jacob. I guess he deserves that accolade.
He should just buy into it, okay?
Yeah.
Are they really going to make that many decisions without him? I mean, Spirit does seem like a really professionally run organization in the fact that they have the whole GM and Holly's doing so much, though.
Well, we've had some incredible games going down on stage, and that is all thank you to Blacklight, the official gaming chair and desk partner of the Starlighter Budapest Major 2025. Pro comfort and stability for all the players on stage here at the Major. And you guys at home can also enjoy an exclusive discount code, 20% off with the code MAJOR20 at blacklight.com. Before we head things to a quick break, though, Maui, I know you're going to be departing us for this next semi-final. Can you give us a take on Navi versus Faze?
Hot take.
Could I get the camera? Could I get the camera for 1 second here? I got
He's
two
got a big
words.
one.
I got 2 words for you. Faze up. It was Brokey Friday yesterday.
What is it today?
Why not make it Brokey Saturday?
Well, we're going to have to see how that one goes down after a short break. When we return, don't go anywhere. We need to find Vitality a grand finals opponent. That's going to be between Navi and Faze after this.
Please do not get in my way. You cannot drop in my lane. Tires is burning the pain. You don't have nothing to say. This is how legends are made. I know I got what it takes. And I'm not popping the brakes. And I'm not popping the brakes. I'm too competitive. I like the narrative. I don't know best in the league. Who you comparing with? That isn't competitive. Top of the throne, it is me. How you moving so when it's speed? I just been bringing the fire. Bringing the fire.
You see the match. We see every restart behind it. You see lightning-fast reflexes. We see countless hours building trust. You see a single moment of triumph. We see the 1,000 failures that forged it. Victory isn't just the moment. We win because we reached it together. Level up as one.
Sending, you know you've been cutting, you know I'm ascending. I'm one of them winning. I'm one of them winning. I'm one of them winning. I'm one of them winning.
We often ask ourselves, bigger or smaller? But first, you need to figure it out. Do you have a massive FPS? Or a tiny ping? Is that good? Nice! Yes, it's fantastic! X-Play GG. High FPS and low ping servers.
Favorite team. Post on socials with hashtag MajorFans, tag Corsair, get featured, and win a Corsair gear bundle.
Choose a walkout song for the playoffs. Which song are you picking?
I don't know. In Dallas/Austin, I don't know why I was listening to the Beatles, and I think I'll go for that again.
Last Christmas.
Something from Snoop Dogg.
Something from Juice WRLD.
I would maybe choose the song called You'll Never Walk Alone. It's the anthem of Liverpool. It's my favorite club, and I always like that song, so maybe that one. Probably Rough Riders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adele Skyfall. That's a good one.
Honestly, I feel like we have such a different music taste, everybody, and I kind of go more with Fallen's music taste a little bit. So and I've been sharing a room with him a lot, and I think his song of the day is always System of a Down Aerials. So that's a very good song, and we will go with that.
It's gonna be a sad song.
If you could choose a song to do a walkout to in the arena, what song do you pick?
I don't know, from SpongeBob.
I think I'll choose something stupid, but I listen to a lot of Nickelback songs actually in the past, so I'll choose a song from them.
I don't know. Darude Sandstorm. It's just good. I don't know. It's just good. I was
was been watching a lot of hockey back in the day, so now as well. So it's a good memory at least.
Probably some white girl music song like Rihanna or Sia or whatever. I like these songs and it's funny.
Maybe like Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit or like Limp Bizkit like break stuff.
I have Kazakh song. This is Skriptonit and I like him so much.
Just because it's classic for the UK people do, I'll do Sweet Caroline.
Molodoi, you are an inspiration to others, but who is an inspiration for you personally?
I think simple. It's my big god. I watch a lot of demo, how simple play, and I like simple style. I think a little bit we have same style in Counter-Strike.
Maybe now it's Nico because he is hard working a lot.
No one towards Counter-Strike, to be honest. It's more like sports, men's. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Messi, and I used to be fan of Federer as well. So those two.
Last few years, Kobe Bryant.
I would say Johan Fjatra. Then in the beginning of my career, it was Config. I'll say one of the Swedish guys. I think KW and Crims has always been my big brothers, if I say so, in the scene since I came into the scene. So yeah, I think they teach me a lot, and I think they are my idols for that. When I was young and started playing CS, it was more colorful.
Simple. From CS and from other, Cristiano Ronaldo. Djokovic.
Fallen. I would say Forrest. I never had I talked with him just a bit, but great player and more important is a great human being.
It's simple. In general, maybe some like just competitive. I would say that this like atmosphere inspired me to like to dream about like big scenes and all this stuff.
So many, but I'll keep it CS and I'll say Forest.
That's a good question. To be honest, for me, it was a long time my brother, of course, when I was growing up, and he was playing. But I think one of the active players probably now should be Robs. I watch him a lot, and I really like his playstyle. I think he's super smart. So for me, he's really inspiring, to be honest.
Hey, I'm John Argandiza. I'm from Interlove and Long Island, New York.
Hey everyone, my name is Grayson Krumman. I play in the band Sepultura, and I'm from New York as well.
I've been playing 24 years or so. I started when I was 8 years old. Came from a family of drummers. My dad was a drummer. My older brother was a drummer. They taught me when I was 8, when I decided to start picking up the sticks and everything.
I've been playing for 19 years. I started when I was 4 years old. Started playing a little bit of every style. Started with more rock and pop and fusion stuff, and then as I got older, I got more into metal and hard rock, and then eventually kind of branched out and then actually joined a metal band and kind of got into that whole world. So very varied. I was always a gaming fan when I was younger, especially when I had more time. And if I wasn't practicing, I was sometimes playing video games with my brothers. A little bit of Counter-Strike, and slowly, as I began touring more and more, the infrastructure got to the point where we were asking backline companies for road cases that you could put monitors and gaming consoles in. It's been actually shocking. I knew it would be big. I knew esports was big. I've been touring and I've seen esports events like throughout different countries I've been, and I've heard of, we'd played somewhere and there'd be an esports event nearby and everybody would talk about it. But to actually be here and see how much production goes into it and the amount of people involved is shocking.
No, I reached out to a couple of friends that were also like CS2 fans, and we're really big fans of like esports and everything, and it's a whole other seeing it firsthand. It's like its own huge entity, and the fact that we're all the way out in Budapest is kind of crazy to me, and how important it is for like each one of these players to be here and like for the majors, and what's essentially like the biggest, like one of the two biggest events of the year for them. So it's incredible to be part of it.
The more you do it, the more kind of confidence you build in these scenarios, and I think even for players that this might be their first event, going forward they're going to feel great going into different events of different sizes. But it's interesting to see how everything is put together so well, and it is so supportive of this event, and the impact that globally this will have of millions of people watching is amazing to see. obviously, with my connection to Brazil, I have to go for Fioria. I'm excited to see them perform.
Let's go Mongols. Come on. Take it all, please.
Budapest! That was a little bit too quiet. I think you guys need waking up. We have two incredible drummers, John and Grayson, who have been rocking out on these intros, and they've got a fantastic performance for you today. Are you ready? Well, make some noise. Give it up for John and Grayson as they rock us into this.
Navi, our next battle to be going down here in Budapest, where we've got Devilwalk joining me up here on the desk. I know, Devilwalk, in your career, you've been in so many high-stakes scenarios. What kind of emotions are you feeling as we're clawing ever closer to crowning a major champion?
I feel butterflies in my stomach in these kind of situations. You just want to get out there. It's so much excitement, much energy. They just want to put out there and show, the world that you are the best team here on stage.
And talk about two crazy stories to make it to the semi-final. Navi and Faze both having to battle as the underdogs in their respective quarterfinals. Give me your take initially on Faze managing to best Mouse in their home arena, which I guess most of the fans in here don't really care about.
Well, you say home arena, right? I feel like Faze were feeling like they were having a home advantage in that regard. Somehow, some way, Kerrigan manages to do it again. Doesn't matter where he goes, he is beloved in the world of Counter-Strike. Faze yesterday with that performance against Mouse, it was clinical. The first map was competitive on Nuke, back and forth. It was a good game of Counter-Strike. The second one on Inferno, though, that's when we saw the full force coming out from Faze, but arguably also a little bit of crumbling coming out of Mouse. So in terms of who's coming into this quarterfinal with more confidence, I think both will feel great, and especially Faze considering that every single game they played so far at this major, they've been the underdog. They got nothing to lose, Devilwalk, and the same could be said tonight.
Yeah, they played great under this underdog kind of, I don't know, title or whatever you want to call it. But you got to praise Kerrigan for the way that he's approached these games. If you just look back at some of the early games in this tournament, they looked sloppy, they looked out of sync with each other, and he's changed that. He's kind of changed their approach, especially on the T sides, where they are more grouped together, they have a simpler plan, and they've made it work, and the execution has been flawless from them.
Yeah, Chad said it really the best. Kerrigan is at home when he's playing on these stages. Navi, on the other hand, managing to best Furia against all the odds. And it was, our first three-map affair that we've actually seen in this arena. But the third map, it was very lackluster from Furia and a great game plan coming in from Navi.
I felt like it was a Blade and LXB masterclass on that T side of Train. Obviously, completely manhandling Furia in that game too. Everyone's big surprise. Furia came in as the big favorites to win the entire thing. But I'll be honest, yesterday, Navi won 2-1. They probably could have and should have won 2-0 as well. I feel like that Inferno game, we're going to remember Fallen's 1v3 clutch for a long, long time. But in its essence, Navi played some sick-ass Counter-Strike. And the best Counter-Strike they played all year long yesterday.
Yeah, and the great thing about Navi now is you get Bit back on stage. He started to deliver again. And on all fronts, you got Makase, a rookie. He was absolutely nuts yesterday, getting entries, being relentless. And it felt like he didn't feel the pressure at all playing on that stage. He was just happy to be there, enjoying the game. And that's probably the best mentality you can have going into such a huge game of Counter-Strike.
I guess it was just all part of Blade's master plan. I think it was after IEM Cologne that he said, trust in the process. It's all about peaking for the Budapest Major. And I mean, first job done. Quarterfinals ticked off the list. Now semifinals. That's the next challenge.
It is, and for Navi to be in the semifinal, that is already going above and beyond expectations, even for Blade. Yes, I know that he said that, trust in the process, but when you look at Navi's year as a whole, it's been disappointing. LXB even said it. It's been a weird year for him. In 2024, we crowned them the best team of the year, right? We crowned them as a team that would win trophies. They went into 6 or 7 grand finals in a row, and LXB said it pretty well yesterday. Not winning anything in 2025, it kind of felt weird. He wanted to lift a trophy. He wanted to win stuff. So as much as I appreciate it, kind of felt being in the semifinal, as big as a surprise it is, I think when you're LXB, you're Blade, and you won so much in 24, you want to taste the victory. You want to taste that trophy one more time before you're fully satisfied.
Yeah, and it's also this weird storyline of when they won that major, they had 6 months with that roster. We're coming up to that 6 months right now in this arena, and they're overperforming once again, I guess, because they weren't favorites to win that major. They kind of surprised everyone, and I think, they have prepped their way into this major in such a fantastic way with Blade, with LXB, the players, they peaked at the right time. Everything that the backroom staff have done with these players have been phenomenal.
Well, you mentioned Blade's name. Let's have a quick catch-up with him, courtesy of Donna.
Hi Blade, thanks for joining us. You guys surprised us yesterday with the win. That was amazing. So how do you feel about that outcome?
Amazing. That win was kind of energizing, and now we're more confident.
Yeah. Did you feel that your team is capable of doing that and of upsetting such a favorite?
We have this experience of kind of surprising and beating favorites on majors. sometimes, and like we have this experience. That's why we always believe that you can beat any opponent. You must have proper mindset and good game plan.
I mean, I have to say, when you guys lost Inferno, it looked like, and then I saw that you're going to play Train, I was a bit worried. But what did you think? Like, did you have a really good preparation for Train, or what was your first thoughts going into the third map?
We worked a lot on Train overall for this tournament. On bootcamp, we played a lot this tournament, so I think we have a lot of different things and understanding what to do on T side, how to exploit the flaws of opponent if you see something. So I think we are a lot on the same page on that map, which is important in playoffs, in my opinion. But Inferno, like we just said, that it was their pick. And usually the opponent's pick must go to opponent. Yeah. And nothing bad happened. We knew that we can play Train much better than Inferno. This is what was our mindset.
Okay, great to know. Thank you so much. And speaking of Train, Makaz was insane, incredible. And I just want to ask you what your thoughts are on his progress since he joined from Navi Junior to now.
Very big progress. Like, he is still learning, in my opinion, but he's showing like very good performance, let's say, considering his experience.
Okay, great. And what do you think about Wonderful's performance in this major so far?
Well, the digits saying by itself. I think he's one of the most rated players in this tournament. So it's a huge boost for us, for our team, that we have such a player on major. Like I was saying before in the interview, if your player is constantly doing this performance, you can have a huge chance to win tournament overall. So let's hope that it will keep how you call it, I don't know how you say it, keep happening.
Yeah. Keep the momentum.
Yes.
And you're gonna play against Faze now. You have seen how they played yesterday. So honestly, what do you think? Faze is an opponent now.
For us, it's very crucial today, not to underestimate them at all and thinking that the game will be easier than versus Furia.
Yeah.
We beat one of the big bosses, and now we have a little bit weaker opponent.
Yeah.
We must treat them like semi-finalists of the major, and this is very important.
Absolutely. You're one win away from the finals if you win today, and you have many trophies to your name. Do you think this Navi lineup, has what it takes to maybe take the trophy?
Of course, yes, because after beating Furia, this was our plan. Like we said, if we win Furia, we have a road to win the whole tournament, because we will get more confidence. And Furia won last 2-3 tournaments, last 2 tier 1 tournaments. So obviously matchups is a very important thing that can happen. Depends who you play. But for us, for our game, we believe much more than we did before.
Okay, thank you so much for the insights, and good luck later.
Thank you.
Just a quick note on the mentality comment there coming out from Blade. I feel like that is a much needed shift from the Navi of old versus maybe what we've seen here at the Major.
Yeah, it's fun to hear him talk about mentality, because that's always one of the things that he's going to highlight for his teams as well, and obviously something Navi have to get used to now. They're coming into a semi-final where you could argue they're the favorites, but I just want to set up this matchup, in terms of the mentality. Both lineups, both Faze and Navi came in, after a rough season, after a rough period. Now they find themselves in a semi-final. Up until this point, Devil Walk, you could argue that they were both underdogs, but let's be completely honest. Both of them are now coming into an environment where they can both claim to be the favorites. If you're Kerrigan right now, you're telling your players, listen, we can win this semi-final, we can go into the grand final, and that's a realistic expectation. Same for Blade, same for Navi. So despite these two teams came in a bit shaky and having had a couple of head-to-head duels throughout the year, I feel like this game is one of those classic Counter-Strike games that has its own life. It's tonight, it's all about. It doesn't matter what happened a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago in a couple of tournaments, because it's two vastly different looking teams in this tournament.
Yeah, you're completely right. I think, it's a 50-50, it's a coin flip. It's all depending on the day. What team is actually going to show up? We have a Navi, who obviously beat Furia, but they had a 4-day prep to actually study them, to make sure that they knew all the intricacies and details of that team. Now they have 1 day against a Faze who's changed their looks a multiple couple of times, in this tournament and at this event. So there's I believe what Wonderful said when he said Blade can see the future, but can he get all this information into his players in this short amount of time? That's the question for me. And the unpredictability of Faze, can that actually break through, all this structure and stability that Navi is playing with? They're one of the best teams at this event. Once they pick up an entry, they are so, diligent and organized to make sure that they win the round. I think they have something like 88% win rate in this tournament if they pick up the first kill. So there's a huge amount of pressure to keep that organization, but I also think Faze, they're masters at breaking structures. They're masters at, Karrigan, finding the gaps, finding the holes, finding the flaws to break a team like Navi.
In terms of seeing the future, though, for Wonderful, what do you think today is going to deliver for him? Because so far, so good, right?
I have no question. For me, there's no question. He's going to deliver. He's showed up in every single game, in every single match for this Navi. He's been the best player. I think that, the amount of entry kills he goes for, the amount of clutches he's won, and you can see that he's not stressed. He's not, he's a different Wonderful. He's more comfortable. He knows where he has his teammates. So I have no doubt in my mind that with Blade's guidance for this game that he will be able to deliver.
It's been another breakout tournament for Wonderful, to be completely honest. To dive into it, out of the 31 big LAN events he's played in his career, statistically speaking, this major is his best ever in his career. So for the fact that he's playing so well, as you said, he's very good in the opening department, he's very good at closing out, he seems very freed up by the structure within Navi right now. To see a Wonderful play like this is amazing, and also for the context for people at home coming into the tournament. We've talked about Navi struggling a little bit throughout 2025, and a player people were pointing towards were Wonderful, saying that if he doesn't step it up, then maybe it's not guaranteed that he's going to be part of this lineup for 2026. And I guess the best way to answer is by having your best tournament in your entire career.
And it's also about this, he was criticized for these exact things, that he wasn't mobile enough on the map, that he wasn't going for the entries, that he didn't have enough impact in the rounds. And we've seen a complete kind of change and transformation of this Wonderful, who looks comfortable going for those things. So it's a completely new player for Navi.
In terms of new faces as well, Devilwalk, you had a really interesting point about obviously Faze being here since stage 1 and the different faces we've seen from both Brokey and Jacob. Do you just want to run us quickly through this to the improvement that we've seen stage by stage?
So we can start with Jacob, right? The first couple of matches that we saw him, he looked a little bit stressed, uncomfortable. He couldn't really, hit his flicks. He made some weird movements on the map. But as the time went on, the more encouragement we saw Karrigan and his teammates give him, the more comfortable he got into this role. He went for more entries, he got more multi-kills. Stage 1 with Brokey as well, who also, before we knew, he was sick during that period of time. So that could be an explanation of why we have seen a Brokey kind of slowly ramp up to this performance that we're seeing today. But Jacob is a big reason why they're in this place in the first place, because he has been clutch and probably one of their most important players coming to this point.
Well, 100%. And I do believe we're lucky enough to have a few words courtesy of both of them with Donna ahead of the semi-final. So let's check in with them.
Hi, Brokey.
Hello.
Hi, Jakob.
Hello.
How are you?
Great.
How are you? Okay, so how will you play today?
Sorry?
How do you think you will play today?
Good.
And you?
Amazing.
Okay, now jokes aside, I actually want to know how you felt beating yesterday one of the major favorites.
I felt good. Felt a bit pressure before the game, but during the first map we started good, and after that there was less pressure for us.
Okay, and Jakob, how was it for you to play there? Were you nervous?
Yeah, I felt good. Mouse is a strong team.
Yeah?
So, yeah.
Okay. Brokey, are you ready to win another major?
The third time is the charm. I have to win one in CS2.
Okay. And what about you? Are you ready to win the first major if you win today?
Sure.
Yeah? Okay. Jakob, I wanted to know how you were doing with the nerves, because you said you were a little bit nervous, but now you already played yesterday. So do you feel more confident stepping into the game today?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Brokey, you had a lot of critics out there. And yesterday you just dominated and were insane. So do you have any words for the people who were coming from your head and calling for you to be cut?
Keep hating.
Guys, thank you so much. Best of luck. And yeah, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Haters just Brokey's motivators, apparently. Meant a few words in the interviews, but at least they're putting up the frags in the server.
I fucking love Brokey, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he is the most fun and entertaining Counter-Strike player to watch. There's no doubt that Brokey have been struggling as well, you know, in the last 6 months. And the turnaround he's made in this major it's amazing, right? He went from being, you know, a weak link within Faze, a player that would be targeted, a liability, to now being the player together with Jacob who stepped up the most and had the biggest turnaround throughout the major. So if hating Brokey makes him play like that, then I think everyone should continue to hate on him.
Well, Navi versus Faze, it is almost time to get things underway, but not before we have a bit of a deeper dive into both of our semi-finalists.
I think Faze has always been a stage team. Like, you know, we've always performed better. Of course, within some lineup changes, there's always something different, some dynamics change. We've had a couple of different players on the team. In the end, the Carrigan was there always. Twist hasn't been on the team for a while, but he's back. Brokey has been there always, so we feel better, and Carrigan plays with the crowd.
He was almost looking forward to getting booed, and then the opposite happened. You know, there was no booing for Faze, so the crowd has been phenomenal.
It's all about adaptation and habit. If you play 2-3 games, it becomes like normal for you on the stage. If you don't play it for 1 year, you can be a little bit vulnerable. But if you're doing this normally once per month, it should be fine.
If you imagine that we are having a very rough time or we lost a super important crucial round, if we have timeouts, usually that's where the coach comes in, when he takes a timeout, because he understands that now it's the time to take it. Now it's the most important time. Now the individuals are crushed mentally. We need to, you know, grab those 30 seconds and play an important round.
I feel like every one honestly played a big part in why we're still in the tournament. You never know, sometimes the right words at the right moment, you know, will get to people, and it will do a lot of good. So I feel like we're all pretty good at saying what we want to say, and if we need to be harsh, then we're harsh. If we need to hear some nice words, encouraging words, then there's always someone to step up and say it.
We have our system, we have our protocols, and also our moves a lot of times are something we speak about constantly. That's why we can refer it pretty fast. It's a basic process of experience the action, then experience the mistake, then experience the analysis of this mistake, and then I just try to fix it and get the knowledge from this mistake. My next move will be better. This is a process like this, nothing special.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Finn and Philip, Neo. I mean, those are the two heads of the team, basically, and I would describe them as the Rocks.
There's always different visions of how to play the game. There's different styles of playing the game. I've played for more than 20 years in this game, and I just try to explain them my point of view so they feel the same way. Of course, there's some disagreements sometimes, but in the end, I feel like this team has really nice work ethic.
We need the glue. I feel like I'm responsible a lot of the times to have like a one-on-one chat to try and bond with the individuals and try to make the atmosphere loose. You kind of look at the environment you're brought into and what the team needs, and you go from there.
I think it's a team mentality. There's not one time that I feel that people were out of the game or frustrated. It's everyone was on the same page to just keep it going. All it took was the round where Brokey kills 2 outside and Torji team kills 1, and yeah, that was the round where I think people felt like, yeah, the game is ours again.
Blade told us, like, guys, all good. We need to refresh mind and let's go back in server and let's show them what we are capable of. We have our preparation, just focus on our things that we talked and let's just show it. Let's just play good CS, let's show CS. We did that and we won. I'm happy.
It's CS, you know, you never know how it is. It's not gonna be an easy game. We're just gonna get there and do our best to win the game.
One more spot to find for the grand finals, and it'll be either Navi or Faze. This is an epic rematch from back at the Copenhagen Major, how we started CS2. But some things have changed since then. A lot of players have changed places since then. And both of these teams have found themselves falling down, unable to grasp trophies and success in this year. But a shot at it at a major grand final could certainly be something and incredibly special. It can go either way. It all comes down to what happens on this stage. So let's get closer to finding out who it can be. Budapest, are you ready?
Welcome on stage, Navi. Welcome on stage, Faze.
Kerrigan, the battle of underdogs. But you like being the underdogs, right?
I love being underdogs.
You said some time ago that Faze is already focusing on 2026.
С детства за Navi. С детства блин больше командной балет по моему кейсу. Ну бит кеннег.
Everybody talked about what mistake we did. What can I say? Jacob is showing the world what he's capable of. We have a chance here to go to a final.
Ayşe kod bo'ladi. Simple'da mana shu chopgan Faze'da 100%. Simple yutib bergan paytlari san zo'rsan degan yutqizib qo'yganida mana shu Simple chopgan. Sen kerak emassan bizani komandaga deb.
Faze thrives in chaos while Navi thrives in system. Is this clash of styles going to, show your capabilities as a leader to keep your team composed?
It's always a clash of styles.
It's like boss.
I just love playing different styles. I've played for so many years, and Navi is the same style. Just looking forward to two styles meshing up and let the best team win today.
One question. Do you want to check how the siren sounds in this arena?
Endi Simple chiqib qo'ygan bo'lsa, Lupoy chiqadi deb o'yinda. Taniman mana shu 29 yoshli akam bo'ladi. Qadrdonim, qadnoyim. Na boshqa. Ikkisi degan bo'ldi. Men javob, men boraman.
I'm glad you spoke about the mindset because it has looked so much stronger. Does it feel like you guys have taken things to another level that can help you accomplish your dreams?
I think so, and the whole team is playing very, very good right now, and I feel like the confidence is oozing out of them, and I'm just looking forward to play today.
And I can see it, you're even smiling right now. So, Faze, right? Stico was just touching on it. They have a very chaotic style, a chaotic way of playing compared to your system. But do you have an understanding of how you want to control that chaos?
Yeah, we played against them previously. We know how it is. We know they have the stage factor, but we know we have it as well, so we're ready.
You want to get this arena pumping for you again?
Yes. Suomi-fanit Mylvika!
Budapest! I can feel it! I can really feel it! This is something special. Now, I need to understand this. I see Navi flags, I see the Faze fans in the back, I see this everything, everywhere, just beautiful people loving Counter-Strike. So let me find out which way we're going on this one. Navi! Okay. And on the other side, Faze! It sounds good. It sounds really good right now in here. Let me try it one more time. I'm not quite sure. Navi! All right. Let's see what they got. Faze! Now, I want you guys to listen up. I want us to start a clap. So everyone, put your hands together. Join me. We're going to clap ourselves into this game and get this semi-final started.
Unaqa emas. 100% bugun Alexey bir tashit qiladi. 100%. Stavka qilmayman, jala boyam chiqib qo'ygan stavkada. Vitality yutqizadi 13-6 ga dedim, jala comeback qilib ketdi Mirajda.
The core of champions from the first ever CS2 major versus an Org who have taken home silver in 2 out of the last 3 for 1. Grand finals berth awaits here in Budapest, and this is no easy battleground by any means, Jacob. You need everybody, including those coaches standing behind you, to be locked in to this one.
It's a game within the game, because often we talk about the players. We can talk about the AWP duel. We can talk about the in-game leading duel between Alexey B and Kerrigan, but I think the duel between Neo and and there's level to this one. Because if I were to ask you, who would you rather have behind you as we see the maps on your screen, most people would say Blade, you know, a GOAT candidate. But there's levels to it. There's a reason why Neo is the coach of FaZe Clan. He's not necessarily needed to be this tactical genius. He's a people's guy. He's a management guy. He's a guy that is right and the right fit for Kerrigan as his right hand within FaZe Clan. Because I'll tell you a bit of a story right here. Kerrigan was tired of getting kicked from his lineups. He was tired of not having full control over the projects that he was involved in. So he needed a coach that he could trust to be his right hand man. Blade, obviously, on the other side of Navi. He's a coach that is more or less, you know, deciding everything within that camp together with Alexey B. What players are we signing? signing? Are we promoting McCarthy from the Navi Junior into the main team, etc., etc.? So if you were to ask me, who would I rather have behind me right now tonight? I'd say if I were Alexi B, I want Blade behind me. If I'm Kerrigan, I want Neo behind me. You're looking at Faze. What's the win condition? The nerves, the intuition. You want Brokey to feel good. You want Brokey to play good. Well, that's Neo for the job right there. For Jacob as well, a guy that is coming in as a rookie, who's had such a massive turnaround as well. Who would you rather have behind you? The big boss Blade that's going to tell you did that wrong, that wrong, that wrong, even if you're winning a match? Or do you want the people's management guy in Neo behind you? I think there's level to the conversation. Not all coaches are equal. Not all coaches are doing the same thing, but both of them are great in each their respective aspect.
100%. There's so many layers to this one, which is why it's such an incredible semi-final we get to bear witness to. Quickly, Devil Walk, the maps, we saw them on our screens. Ancient, Nuke, Inferno. What are your thoughts on these? Any big surprises for your life?
I think Ancient is a bit of a punish pick from Navi. It's something they prepped, something that Faze has struggled a little bit on. Nuke, pretty obvious. Faze has already played it 6 times at this majors. They beat the likes of Mouse, Vitality, NIP already. They've looked good on this map, so I think they've set the stage for this to be a third mapper, and that is going to be Inferno, the last one, where I think this is going to be duked out on.
Oh, it's looking really close. Navi just about siding with them, as we see on our screen here. Jacob, any predictions coming out from you? Are you going with your head, or are you going with your heart in this one?
Oh, that's the thing, right? Because part of me wants to see Faze win, to be completely honest, but I do think, you know, just going with the brain and what I've seen so far and going with this matchup, I think there's a higher likelihood that Navi will edge this one out, but I very much agree with the odds. It's a close game. It's a very close game. To me, it comes down to, can Navi handle the pressure that Faze will deliver early on in the game? We saw it yesterday against Mouse. Faze and Kerrigan were calling a simple game of Counter-Strike, almost a hockey style of Counter-Strike. And ever since they made that switch, as you said as well, from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3 to the playoff, the simpler they play, the harder they play. The more intuition Brokey can use, the better Twist is performing, the better Jacob is performing as well. Again, not a guy that is perfectly fit into a system. Let's not forget that he was thrown into a role that he had never played before from the team he came into, having to play some of the anchor positions. So the more Kerrigan can free up the players within FaZe Clan, the more of a game we're going to have. I think it's going to be a close one.
I agree with you. I think, you know, it's also the fact that Navi only have 1 day of prep going into this, the chaos of Faze, but also on Kerrigan. You know, a simple game plan can still be effective if you have the right call at the right time.
Faze versus Navi going down live here in Budapest. Our second semi-final awaits.
Potential'ımızı mükemmel acele tek bir dikenle satmanın gol kurtacağım.
All eyes on you. Sold out stadium. Legacy on the line as Faze. It's Navi juking it out in the dome.
Hatta 5 round oluş gibi.
T-Star for Navi. Faze on the receiving end. Frozen got a lot of work to do here. Multiple bodies spotted in middle. No signs of commitment. Yeah, it's held by Kerrigan. He's going to be trying to play for one here, but now he's caught out. Throwing out the nade. It's Frozen ready to receive. That's a quick start. Clothesline. Kaze. Pressure applied. A-side falls back. It's in that puts him on his arse. And now it's wonderful down. Twists in mid. Kicks up a fuss. It's bit towards the spawn side. Something there. Gets absolutely nothing. With the bomb now planted, advantage Faze on the screen take. No kit, flank from Twist. Crash comes in. Im is in the front conveniently. It's denied. So close to brilliant, but the rookie stands up and delivers.
Frozen. That pillar gets the opener and Jacob closes it down. There's a lot of pressure there, but this series, as Kerrigan gets the crowd going early, is all going to be about the rookies, especially here on Ancient. The two of them will be duking out in middle throughout, and that's where this action kicks off. Imma battling away with the picked up US ball. Great shoes for Jacob. Rips off the head, gets the defuse, and that's a great confidence builder for the kid early.
If Carrigan's looking me dead in the eyes, geeing me up like that, that's only going to get the blood getting hotter and hotter. That's round one, folks.
Oynagачки мидде yapıştı. Çıkıp middiye geldi. Prozumran. Midden çıkışma yok. Böyle flexibil böyle rampana Carrigan. Keyifte. Carrigan keyifte. Geldi. Siz üç güleceğiz.
So you lose the pistol shot, comes down to a 1v1. Can you bounce straight back with a force by
hemen neden dikemen önce bir tutucu tutulması da. Yok. 45 voice minus. İmi totalot băie. İmi băie totalot. Şaşılmasdan. Davay jigarlar şaşılmasdan. Ya plantga o'ynalang. Plantga bo'ldi. Boshqa narsa kerak emas. Bombani qo'yamiz, 6 ishni olamiz. Sip olsan aqlaz deb yuzmi. Böyle hiç kim yok. Böyle 2 adam, 3 adam totalot böyle.
Carrigan's in the right place. Ahead of the util. He needs something on the ramp side.
So big, so.
Kit on the floor though. They're losing bodies left and right. Brokey the next victim. Makaze into the side comfortable.
Twist has to play retake. They might be considering the save right now.
Birinci round deyken hozir mana 5-3 vaziyat. Maqloli sallan. Safe'ga ketasan. Safe'ga ketasan jigarlarim. Navi.
Settle straight into a 1-1 game. Here's the action. You see how limited it is. It's great that Carrigan gets across, but Emma and Makazi combined for the opener. Too easy. From that second onto Brokey. Makazi yesterday, the monster started to manifest. I'm talking about these rookies. Well, he was very comfortable on the big stage. Both were underdogs in their respective head-to-heads against Fury and Mouse.
İkinci rounddan birisi gitti diyor. Böyle safe qilgani sababi chunki bularda pul yo'q edi. Hammasi o'lib ketsa yana pistoletga qaytadi. Faze. 3-round, hadam 3-round eko bo'ladi. Chunki 2-roundda olib ketsa bo'ladi-da. Skip bo'lmaydi baribir. Bitta MK bittani unga yetadi pul. 12 Almogaga. Shunda ikkalasi ana unda o'ynayapti, pistoletda o'ynayapti endi ular. Shoshmalaring, shoshma. Kecha qanaqa o'ynading? Shunaqa o'ynab ber, bo'ldi. Muammosi yo'q, jigarlarim. Voy. Makazi.
Brings down Makaze. Navi operating with a limp. A man advantage for Faze in this battle for economic supremacy.
Okay, they were just going to pipe up the ramp there, but have called it off. Brokey molly down the position. They feel the pressure now. The seesaw in the early stages. Back of that opening kill. This one's going to be tough for Navi.
It's still recoverable.
Yeah, they're lacking util for the finish. They have to hope for an overplay of the hand. Reround from Emma and Wonderful. Heading back over to get some mid-territory.
Kaçki oynamıyorlar. 2 adam böyle. 2 adam hadi 3'tesi böyle. Нужно ансвиню, пацаны. Ну ладно. Делайте то, что вы хотите, пацаны. Биткілді. Светлин қарабер.
And looking for that pick, Brokey, he was caught in motion, so gets away with 30 HP, Bit's presence, and the bomb following him, tailed by Alexi B, but non-committal.
Coming back over, has to be the big finish now.
Okay, Plant will go in, punishing this freedom. The amount of space they've been given, still maintaining that cave control. Twist and Carrigan preparing for the retake. Brokey equipped with the kit.
They're worried about a red leak right now. They need to get a move on Faze. They don't have many answers.
Yeah, but they don't have long control. That's the point from Alexi. Big removal. Takes down Twist. Uncomfortable now. That man advantage squandered. An opportunity for the retake. Just a blood. Faze just crumbled. Into the Navi post.
Safe kaçken, safe kaçsan safe alışacak.
You don't say this often, but that is very timid from Faze. Giving over space, not taking the jewels. Brokey just going to hold on to this, and Navi, after losing the pistol, bounce back with two. Just to have so many bodies on the site and not be willing to fight. Navi, head back over to the middle, flush out pool, smoke off red. Cause Faze to wonder, and that can continue to be the storyline of this. if Faze can't win out mid-control, or at least they can't maintain the info that they desire, Navi can turn the screws because like they had more than enough to be playing on that side, not willing to take the fights at range and then just mow down in the choke point.
Twist won't be happy with that one. Alexi really caught the best of him.
Yeah, that's a pretty rubbish round for Faze overall. Odds favouring Navi in this one.
Alexi B. Oh, push Faze gel, push Faze.
Gotta settle into this quickly, Faze. The game can get into control.
Something from that save 5-7, it's only one.
It's just the other two on the USP, so Jacob laid it down, and this one will just be swept under the rug. Don't worry about that.
Aya to'xtalamiz, aya bola, aya. Eshitib nahwi.
Monitor and see if there'd been any changes within the CT setups of Faze since Chengdu the last time they played this, and there you have it. Emma deals with it, but so far, exactly what Navi would have expected, and Des touched on this, a bit of a punish, and not a map that we've seen Faze play. And keeping in mind they played the most maps of the major, 22 in total, all the way from stage 1 to the semi-finals.
And how are you personally explaining Navi besting Furia?
It's a tough one, right?
Kerrigan qani?
They've been here before, go back to Copenhagen.
Yo'q, bunaqasi yo'q. Endi bo'lmaydi bunaqasi. Navi qiynaydi Navi.
We're into the guns finally. Everybody fully strapped, and they're looking to set the tone over towards A. There's an AWP, Brokey.
Navina qaraganga kut bo'lsin. Navina qaraganga kut.
First orb starts on the A side, so an
Kerrigan bilan hozir polni uni push qilib informatsiya o'tib berdim, yo'lligini bildi. O'zini to'xtatadi. Lexi B. Maqbudi.
Commitment is coming. How do they force him off the line? Brilliant find. McCarthy and Imma in synchronization. And another body drop.
Просто musor Kerrigan. Ana ko'rasizlar bugun naql Kerrigan. 0-4. Yitso'ni ochmadi. Uni ochgani yo'q Kerrigan. Save qiladi, o'tda ham nima keladi. Noki.
Comms must be calm, but the arena definitely isn't.
Vitality yo'qshab, drupini shularga Vitality yo'qshab, grafiga Vitality yo'qshab o'yinlarga nahvoy drupini bo'lmaydi ularda. Ikkita MK bor hozir.
Mild hunt, Imma, with 10 seconds left on the bomb. I'm not sure he's going to get close enough to this.
You highlighted Ancient being, an interesting choice. Navi elected to take it there. They look right at home.
They've played it twice throughout this run. Stomps against Bait and Paravision. These games were not close at all, 13-4, 13-6. They won't get a chance to play this in a best-of-5 final against Vitality.
Just the presence of mind from McCarthy to know he's likely in cover, bolting, goes towards the deeper line and able to catch Brokey like that.
He's only 18 years of age. He's playing some poised Counter-Strike.
Yeah,
first major, big stage.
It was Blade as well, giving him compliments, saying he's, developing fast.
Limited
Uçsuz bo'ldi deydi, o'zi o'qdi o'zi. Cho'zsa qo'ynet qaraydi. Cho'zsa qo'ynet qaraydi. 16, 9, 5 kun. Makazi, давай, Makazi. Ko'zani kuni.
Comfortable for Faze Clan, and it's only just begun. Makazi, look how much space he's got.
The map feels wide open.
Middle under Navi control. Alexi B taking cursory glances towards the lane. Once again, they use Makaze as this brute force. Timing is perfect! Unbelievable!
It's another save. You can't get into this. Right now, Faze are going to have to take a timeout to have the conversation. Are we just going to go for the full mid and B lane press, the old meta of this map, or do we just want to be in the black box constantly without info, having to play on extremities? Carrick gets something, Bit finds that. You might not hold on to any of these. It's been a real meek start for Faze.
Could not have been better. Both players not looking, just dismounted silently, as if that matters.
You had Stiko asking about the system versus the chaos, and right now the system is reigning supreme. Faze are not able to drag Navi into the mud. It's just too clean, too easy. They can get all the territory they want. They're not having any issues doing it whatsoever. And for Faze, you always feel like you're lacking information, you're playing from behind.
I mean, I'm not seeing much chaos as far as Faze's game plan goes on this CT site.
That's what I'm talking about. You're going to have to start fighting for mid and B lane. Like playing these late round scenarios, they've got your number. And it doesn't even feel like you've been able to get your buys underway just yet. You win the pistol, you lose the force, and then you've lost everything since. So 5 on the trot for Navi. And this timing, it is miserable. Bullets in the back of the dome. Makazi adds another opening to the tally. And there you have it, Neo. There's an opportunity right now just to settle them. It's still early on. MR12, blink and you miss it, the comeback could be on. But it needs to start soon. Carrigan, the caveman, going to be wielding an MP9. Everybody else will get in the M4. So at least they've had weapons, but the threats are so limited. These rounds have just been pure domination. 4 kills in the last 5 rounds is all that Faze have to their name.
가는 캐릭은 브린즈라운드 박을들량 캐릭이 요인데.
Yeah, highlighted here with the round timeline, painting that picture for everybody playing at home. Okay, guns back out this time, a little bit better with the utils.
의도 어떤 콜로미엔도 슈나고 박을 아주 미리치면 요구했는데 나 거의 박을 불란 스늘 때 지금 말하지. Used to Galaxy B beat. Wonderful total what the why get the bar.
Solid damage connects onto 2 of them. But there's
Wow.
And there goes to a Faze. And that on a naughty list. Outrageous. The 18-year-old on a semi-final major stage. And he's just ripping Faze limb from limb. The round ends because of Makaze. And that's not even the first time here on Ancient.
Yeah, Twist is going to push through this, see what he can pull off right now. Alexi might not be ready for this, but still holding the line. Twist goes down. Navi grab another.
He's on his own in mid. He is on his own in mid.
And this is it, right? I'm talking about Makazi versus Jacob as the mid fight. Look at the smile on the kid's face. Drin Shachiri loving this one. Promoted from the academy team to the main roster and looking right at home. They were contesting for mid this time, right? They're trying to take the fight. They're not sitting back in donut. Wow, Blade enjoying that. Wow. It's,
you get a golf clap out of Blade, that's a win.
He's been loving the Counter-Strike he's been watching here.
What feedback can you give him? Don't get owned by Makaze. He's still trying his luck as well. It's not like he's being subtle about it.
Well, they're about to win out the half. It's just a couple of pistols, MP9s. A's completely open. They are running rings around Faze right now.
They've managed to humble him, force him back, but the A side's been lost as the entire team tries to bring down Makaze.
They're going to run into them in donut right now.
Or are they? Backing away as the bomb goes down.
They don't even have a flash to try and initiate through CT or Temple. Another smoke goes down. Carrigan could blow it open. They can try and run through, but either way, this will be a blinker.
Yeah, that would be the chaos, I suppose. Been waiting to see it. Okay, bit down. Twist does something. Need a lot more from Faze. The time is against them. Alexi is too. Using their own weaponry against them. These AKs ripping off Faze scalps. Jacob the last. Tucked in, hoping for a miracle, but that is a 7th for Navi. Make no mistake.
Alexi B.
12 kills for Faze in 8 rounds of play. No output.
Şurada olursa kodda verede ki farm ülkede ki elektrik Zeus'ta.
Looking to put on a quick one. They thought, hold up. Vitality and Spirit, they put us behind schedule. See how quick we can close down this Saturday night.
Yana pauza olsun Brad. Sıkılıyorsun mu? Sıkılmayken geldi mi?
Wonderful hasn't even had to do anything yet. He's been in elite
Sıkılsız
4-1
yem
kills to
tamam
his name.
sıkıla oynayın. Oynasın. Öyle gittiler ne kadar final geçiyor. O kıynamamıza fugana kana kıynadık içe.
On display as well from Navi. This system is fully operational.
Gear shift, right? They've been doing it on more tempered timings now, just straight out the guts. You want to take the fight? Well, we're here for it.
Nearly lost another head there.
Alexi bolu sange jana kayjolar mümkünmezse ki yürüyüz bir koyarsın.
Clear, but the support of the orb is there. Wonderful chips in.
This is perfect.
It's just operating so beautifully.
Oh, gonna overlook this one here, man.
Short. Something.
Oli,
Twist gets him in the back of the head.
Beard going to come through A main. The rest looking like they want to start pathing in through Donut.
It's the right call. It will just be Twist here.
Someone has to get the party started for Faze.
Doğru güç. Oynasa böyle de.
We know Twist has got the pedigree, got the experience, got the capability, but really up against 4 members of Navi.
Needs to be careful not to show a shadow here or game over.
Alexi bir.
Flashes won't catch him.
Sirkot bir var.
Nor will the Molotov.
Totolot.
Both
Ali
face taken
totolot.
and bomb
Oynasa
to
da.
be planted.
Guys okuyor.
They know
Alexi
Temple
bir.
hasn't been
Temple
cleared.
check. Temple.
It's held now just on the edge on the A.
Temple'ın
main.
informasyonu
99
olmuş.
damage bit escapes. And now the jig is up. They know where you are. A 4-on-3. Carrigan catches a little bit of a timing one.
Ama sen Carrigan. Makolosa Carrigan.
Zorb is there. Does he really want to commit for the retake? Him and Twist. A conversation to be had. You've got to go for something.
C'est vrai. Il va un king round primo mid brand. Elle est un king round primo mid.
Take a look at the radar. Bit's already cut them off with the pass here. Shot whistles by, but if you're going to drop back, Bit might have you cut off. Brokey and Twist want to hold on to these. You don't need meter toe. The loss bonus is maxed out. Bit's not going to get there in time. Oh, but the bomb will take down Brokey.
Oh, that's tough. Twist might be able to get his hands on that AWP. Nope, just shy.
Do you want to take a second timeout? You may as well use them if you're Neo. I think he has called it. Well, now you're not even really salvaging the half. The best you can post is 4. You're in a situation where Twist can drop 1 and 4.
Et Goku, ja. Et Goku. Et Goku.
So this is a stomp. How else can you frame it? Absolute non-starter of a second semi.
I did love the way Blade highlighted that, you know, we are going to treat this team. Don't you dare start licking your lips looking at the Faze head-to-head in the semi-final. We're going to treat them like
Navi gruppo падеше и олшки. Арчува
you know, there's still that polish. Everything's functioning. If anything, Faze is just faltering. Mechanics on display.
They're not being able to play their style, right? They're not being able to get stuck in. And I think at this point, you may as well continue just to take the fight to them to try and initiate. But look at this, another key issue. This could just be a B-bomb, B-rush. Here they go. It could be.
Okay, twisted opportunity. Just the one. Alexi B an immediate knee-jerk trade. Carrigan perhaps overlooked. He's got the angle. Gets one. Tucked in. There you go. 3 from the FP9. It's Brokey with a double. Finally, a little taste of something different from Faze Clan.
Yeah, but Navi rush B, right? They are giving you what you want.
Soske.
Allowed Faze to play heads-up Counter-Strike. I don't think we see them going to that level of gear shift again. It'll be more of the standard. I think maybe we get the jump on them. Maybe they play heavy towards middle.
Is that what I think it is?
I don't want to believe it. Brokey's using follow recall. I don't know what's going on.
He's had an upswing in form.
Yeah, maybe that's the key. Okay. Back to regular schedule program.
Yeah, it's Emma this time, partners up.
Still not afraid, taking space early.
Not alone in his jaunt mid. And look how fast forward they go. Smoke start to fade.
Yeah, quasi timido.
Into a red room fight.
Duas.
Remains tucked.
Me due sen. Bana.
Twist goes down. Awkward now. Carrigan could have a head-to-head. Captain on captain crime. Missed shot from Wonderful, saw a sliver of someone on the donut side. Brokey Zorb remains scoped on the potential for Alexi B rounding that corner.
Sakçu sen top 5 salisa. Bu yıl top 5 girdi. 5 top 5 play.
Smoke achieved. Jacobs just trying to delay.
I think he was just trying to get out of there.
Ooh, Brokey doesn't finish it off, and it will escape the nade. Alexi B dropping into mid. They can go anywhere they want with this, but they've applied pressure.
I think the fact you know that the AWP is over towards B for now means these longer sight lines into Donut, into A main. They're completely open for the taking right now. So Alexi with the mid-round calling them back into this. They're grouped up Faze. Kazi could stop all this. Right in its tracks.
No HP, but that won't stop him for that one-shot headshot. Something he's been doing an awful lot of. Jacob does go down on the A side. Oh, Frozen overlooks him. Gets patched, and it's another Navi round. This is a T-side thrashing.
A joy to watch at the moment if you're Blade. Best in the house. Watching your boys go to work, trusting the process. 6 months, Makazi comes in. It's been a tough year, been a tough old season. And right now,
Kim
they're playing
Jong-un
their absolute best counter-strike. The foundation, that's their canvas, and they're painting a pretty picture with Faze blood all over the wall right now. Frozen, who has been phenomenal for Faze throughout this gauntlet run, not clearing his corners, and now it can only be 3.
Will it be aggression now, pairing up with Jacob? Frozen wants to lend a hand. It looks like McCarthy's got you now. Not another multi from McCarthy. 1 kill in a major semi-final for the rookie.
Said it was going to be battle of the rookies. Well, only one of them right now is ripping off heads left, right, and center.
Unbelievable.
Manifesting that monster again. This kid's got something special, and he's cooking. Twist 1v2 to salvage a third. Picks up a kit, giving it a go. Long way round. Against the clock now, 40 seconds begins.
16 flags. Chad Birchall.
He's been involved in
Why
so
don't
many
we kill
openings.
Why don't we kill Makazi?
Twist, how do you win this one? Partnered up together, Wonderful and Makazi. The gruesome twosome.
Only now arriving on the scene, surely helpless endeavor. He's just got to give it a go. A Molotov, a grenade, and a bullet into his ribcage. 10-2-2. Navi comfortable, Ancient surely a certainty. The first map of this
semi-final. Chunki 179 joni bor edi. Ikkalasini hisoblagan. Ikkalasidan ham info yo'q. Infosi yo'q. Qilolmaydi. Bu oddiy kontomasda ninja deb hisobladik. Ikkalasi ushovlarni so'yadi deb bilmayman. Men yig'layapti jala kompyuterim ishlamayapti, o'shaning uchun chiqazo'man. Сипался находится. Kimni sganini qo'ysan, kim bu yerda? Bu bilet bor. Shularning juda bir hammasi kutiga sikilsa. Yo'lga o'zing play etmasang yo'lga ketganlarni yo'lga ketganlar. Siz qisib qo'ying, bari tutqish o'zi kalli. Unuk. Tilda hozir Faze tilda. Simple uchun alamlarini online haydadi komandasidan Karigan. Endi alamini olishlaring kerak, aeroportga chiqarishlaring kerak, kuzatishlaring kerak buni.
Ancient first map, second semi-final for the Budapest Major. Navi Faze. And it's uncharted waters for map 1. Ancient and Faze are drowning. Navi's system fully operational. Faze Clan's chaos nowhere to be seen. We thought this was a clash of styles, a clash of kings. And that's the first opening headshot. Twist goes down, big fight in mid. Navi still managing to get themselves the edge as they do surge into that A site. Pushing around the smoke is wonderful. He's thinking about making a play here. Wants to sink and link up with the Donut duo. Slips on out of the smoke, doesn't find that lead.
Oh, Faze.
Does, clears out Donut. It's getting hectic, it's getting chaotic. Just what Faze need. Carrigan and Frozen to try and secure this one.
Another fake plan. Now Frozen will punch it in. No, it goes a fake yet again. Alexi with the reroute right now, trying to get the jump on them. The longer this takes to get the bomb down, even trying to sound cue. Try and cause some more misdirection. So bomb planted. Carrigan towards main. Frozen to take temple control. Alexi, this is going to be tough on the way back in for the captain.
Yeah, it's not comfortable. He's open for an overextension, and that's exactly what that was. Carrigan just feeds himself to the shot. Frozen saves him. Holy!
No need for that one to go down like that.
Çantadan beri ki iskemiz bu taktik zaman.
And you know what's wild? That is both pistols.
Oh gosh.
For Faze.
So this one maybe not even a certainty either.
The question I have is, do Navi want to keep the foot on the neck?
Double kill, just like that.
Do they want to go for the certain close? And it looks like they want to devastate Faze right here, right now. They're going to go for the force spike. They're not going to take the eco. They can take the safe route and take the eco in with the buys into the next. But right now, fight mid.
Big fight mid. Makaze brought down. It's surely not a double from him. And Jacob, necessary double kill. He calms him down, removes the threat. Bit has confirmed lane is unoccupied. It's just the two of them, though, and so much room for Faze to find the finish.
Okay, well, should be able to just waltz in towards this site, get the bomb down. You wonder if this is the window opening now for Faze. Miss ET smoke. Hopefully they can fix that for the future, but there's a replenish, and there's real no threat. Wonderful, and Bit over towards T spawn. Bomb goes down, 40 seconds on the clock. Now, this window that I'm talking about, the safer route would have just been take the eco, bring out the rifles, and stop Faze before they can get going. But now you're allowing them to build a little bit of confidence. You deal with the force. Right now, they're just going to carry through a Deagle and an MP9. Might get a couple of light upgrades out of the rest going into the next, but nothing as threatening as what you just dealt with. So 3 becomes 4, 4 should become 5. And at that moment, it's just a 5-round gap. I can talk you through it. Rifle round into the partial. Into another rifle round, right? It can get away from you damn quick, but Faze, they need to truly be believing. Carrigan always talking about this team's DNA. Real statement after the Elise era. Something that he wants to make the core identity known. It's the mental fortitude. The clutch comebacks, the comfort in chaos. That's what it means to wear the Faze jersey. Well, these are the type of games.
These are the type of the rounds. I mean, imagine Twist doesn't get Makaze, or Jacob doesn't get that trade. Immediately, the round falls into disarray. They chose to invest. Navi knew that was a risk. And so now, they'll reap what they've sown. Just those 2 saves. Contact out middle.
So this one, you know you're up against a very light type of a buy. What was carried through, those residuals, you're not quite aware, but you're going to expect the classics. Makaze and Alexi staying on the USPs. Imma treats himself to a dig. Congregating in the right place. Alexi has a flash to set up and push through this. This is going to get out of control.
This could get weird. Perfectly timed flashbang. Okay, chaos, awkward, manufactured by Navi. It looks like they've handled it, taking it in stride. Jacob hands up for 4. Quad kill swapped out to the corner. Stop that getting messy.
I thought we were going to get a back and forth between Jacob and Makaze. Maybe it's
Yine oyuna Eko'yu da
the same thing you saw Makaze do. Set up by your team. Smokes red, smokes donut, molly towards pool. Flashes as you like. And this one right now should have been easy, but that was just a moment of madness there towards the red room as Jacob.
He saved them.
Stands and delivers against the eco.
Real talk. Like, that got threatening. That got scary. You're in a close encounter. Multiple USPs, different angles. And he knows they're going to try and punish that Galil spray. Cognizant of the potential for that push. Adjustment made. Pistol swap. It's beautiful.
Right now, Blade wants to make sure this doesn't get out of hand. He knows just how quick MR12 can start to plummet away from you. Sure, you have a massive lead. There should be no way back in for Faze. If you compare the rookies on screen, remember Makaze, a dominant first half of play. It's a kill on the pistol. CT side, I just feel this is so impossible for Faze to get into. Timeout. First rifle round.
Çeşitten oynuyor.
Well, heavy towards A.
Çeşitten oynuyor vallahi canlar.
Wonderful has the AWP on the line here. Need to bait this shot.
Yeah, we saw how they handled it really well in the first half.
Okay, so
Det är trist.
It was just about making sure Navi weren't taking A main control. Faze have secured that. Sure, there could be a mid-round push into that position. The fact they did helps you understand the setup. Makazi will be flashed back off of mid. Playing over towards Donut. Wonderful. Heading over to help out this mid control. As Faze are doing late B lane retake util. Only the top ramp, smoke off towards heaven, obscuring cave and lane. They're not taking any chances with this one. So not doing it on the first timing, but the second. Trying to avoid as much damage to the util. Now a red smoke lands.
Frozen's trying to sell late mid.
Mitt yapıştı.
Hoping for a reaction still. This
Bitti.
setup.
İnternet yok. Keyif kirada yok. Keyif girişti.
That's a misstep. Loses his
Smoke
potency
ne
in the
yapıldı?
double cave. Falls back into side instead.
They're out of block utility right now. It's just an incendiary on Imma. So no smokes to obscure the vision. Just an incendiary up for 5 seconds. Speaking of time, we're down to 30.
Smoke. Basketball. Beyge basketball.
Signs of commitment. Jacob, he receives it well. Bit will trade.
Twist böyle
Twist will attempt
gerçekten.
to. Starting to run at them. On the round. Quick flick out of Randolkin. There's Imma. Last body to find, but they can't get him. They can't touch him. Finally, Brookie sees to it. With 15 seconds, it's the frozen flag. It's the frozen flag. It's a messy spray. Could it cost them everything? Because they find it. Just as easy as that. Oh dear. A golden opportunity in the 2v2. The flank comes through. He's got the time. He's got the target. He does not have the kill.
It's that Imma double that's the difference maker in that situation.
Sen już ona
Jacob gets to the own now. Twist does get the trade snaps into it, but Imma finding
Ale
forward through the
czymś
flames,
lepszy uznanie.
takes that
Imak
Carrigan
czujne
and
wiele,
Twist.
taki
Brokey
nasz
late to
Imak
this.
czujne wiele, bo
And the all-per range
Honoszy
removes
na
Frozen, flubs the spray. Would have been a different story with that AK, but Makazi gives them the 11. Now that was a bit of a bonus for Faze. This one isn't. Final tactical timeout called by Neo. Knows this is the last chance to get things going.
That was their way back in. They know it.
Sama adaş sonuçta round bitmese gereken o ki. O Levize'de oynamasa ki. Levize'den beklerken.
You've got your weaponry, you've got your plan. But a golden opportunity squandered.
So a tempered pace into the last. Let's see if there's a change to that. The overall approach worked out quite nicely for Faze. It was just the Imma double. Not able to get favorable trade work. It shifted the dialogue. These are all for having massive impact so far. And the odds still favoring Navi as we turn into round number 17. Staunch defense on mid.
Yeah, they want a biff though. It's Jacob. Rookie on rookie. McCarthy's got the edge. Brings him down to his knees. Alexi B.
Alexi B'yi buldu.
From the grave will find him with the flame. Twist getting cheeky around the smoke. Knows mid is occupied. McCarthy's already removed one from that very position.
Çünkü merkezi hozun
That
bitti.
belated trade. He's considering a crawl. But Navi have the advantage and so rescind.
O round ortasına sıkıştırdı.
Back in towards a more standard setup.
They might want to play forward. Makazi's here. Wonderful can worry about red. They're going to play retake A. So they're probably going to fight over towards B. Do they catch Frozen and
Üzülmeyeyim
Brokey?
böyle dezinforme edin Navi'çine. Frozen. Çok şey gözle var. İğmeni melak var.
Extends their advantage. Is ringing as a HE explodes right next to him. He's trying to make a play. The nades say nay. Too many targets. McCarthy again. Started in middle and going to end it on B. Imma chips in. Navi 12.
Gets that bash bro combo. Makazi and Imma, especially on a map like Ancient. The two of them can deliver massive output. And Navi just one more round on their map pick to stunning Faze in their second semi. These unexpected entities. Well, this isn't an alien feeling to Navi at all.
So stubborn on the spam as well. You got the advantage. You still bring the fight to them. Catches him through the boards.
Could be an all-in A rush.
It's going to be the clean finish.
İğmeye
Faze is going to throw
bugün
himself
nispet.
towards the A side. Wonderful, ready to receive. Easy as that. Carrigan falls.
Underfall.
From Wonderful.
Underfall mu? Igen. Underfall.
Frozen down. Wonderful indeed.
İğmeye bir uçuk. Kapmış uçuk.
A quick day in the office inevitable for the first map of play. 13-5.
Faze
Karaginler gidiyor. Slavi. Kecha hamma aytdi-yu, bo'ldi Navi finalda, birinchi finalist Navi dedi-yu hamma. Bitta hozirgi Naviga emas, 100% hozirgi Naviga emas. Bitta o'zi o'ynay olmaydi. Frozen'ni bitta o'zi o'ynay olmaydi hech qachon. Karagan mana ketdi, mana Jakob ketdi. Uchinchisi kim edi? Uchinchisi nima? Frozen. Sizin yüzünü ko'rsatib chiqarganda bitgina ham ko'rsatlaringlar. Bititdim. Leri, mana sama давай go sama. Hozirgi payt Slavi emas. U yana yutdi, xo'rladi, u yana bir ham jallab. Просто Inferno'da yibanla shans berib qo'ydi. Uni ichidan jallab comeback qildi ular. Uni ikkidami almashdimi? Uni ikkida almashdimi? 9-3'tami? Я не помню, блядь. Sabır bu zamanın çok bir. Yani bu ne de? Kali'den yani 5. round için ulu. It's номер 1. Just voice. Оперный. Frozen номер 1. Думать сосед калаген Frozen voice.
You see the match. We see every restart behind it.
Yeah,
fast reflexes. We see countless hours building trust. You see a single moment of triumph. We see the 1,000 failures that forged it. Victory isn't just the moment. We win because we reached it together. Level up as one.
Sabri F2 Pro. Saksmiyay Gears batarya 70 batarya 70 8000 Gearsgacha ekan jallab bugün.
The return of Area 51, Alienware's highest performance desktop yet, equipped with powerful Intel Core Ultra processors. Innovative architecture designed for ultimate gaming. Engineered to evolve alongside your game. Encounter the legendary Area 51 at alienware.com.
Intel mukammal. Yetgancha integratsiya kutdi bor.
Create a lobby by your own rules.
I work as a performance coach for Navi for more than 2 years now. In the esports environment, I'm known as Cyrus, and yeah, happy to be here. I used to work in business as a recruiter, coach, and also high-performing teams senior manager. The work in esports started fully with passion. And I think my first biggest success was getting the Fnatic League of Legends team into the finals of World Championship. I think people have a concept that performance coach is a person that is, reacting on things. And it's actually not true. Performance coaching is a lot about prevention. We focus them on being able to maximize the performance here and now and prevent, I'm trying always to prevent any damage that can put the player off the performance. It's a lot about understanding how the player, a specific player, functions to be able to recognize in critical situations or prevent things from happening. Not only, reacting on things and just patting the player on the shoulder, but making sure that the player is actually, I can say it, not aware that things could have happened and were happening. I'm always saying the more you feel I do nothing, the better I do my job. I think the most dynamic and interesting days are the bootcamp days and the tournament days. A lot of things run around the schedule. So depending on what time do we play, we eat that amount of time before the game, we get up that amount of time before the game just to make sure that the players are fully awake, fully prepared. There's always something hectic happening. There's always something that is coming over. And apart from the plan we usually have, things go wrong sometimes. And even if we, for example, prepare the best bonding exercise for them, it can turn out that something didn't click, something didn't work. And the biggest and the strongest tool for the player to have, to be able to manage their own self-talk and turn the, let's say, ego, because usually the 19, 18 years old players that come into the environment of tier 1, they have usually huge ego, and it's very quickly that they get pacified in the first games when they get really humbled by those that are stable, controlled, and so on. There's a lot of knowledge that the players need to have what is actually mentality. How do I handle pressure? How do I work in high pressure performance environment? Even though the conflicts will always appear, if we can sort the conflict and we still can be, let's say, respectful to each other, then the team is actually, functioning very well. It's just to allow the players to be themselves, to be human beings, not necessarily, with a lot of negativity and anger.
We came on. 3, 2, 1. I can flash guys in 3 seconds. 3 seconds I need. Okay, flashing. I'm coming. Boom. First one die. Is it smoke short? No. I'm going out. Let's go long, Kinsta. They know. Wait, I'm reloading. I didn't hit second guy. Window. Window. Let's go long way. Smoke fading long. Nice. Come on.
Had a word with Neo after this map, and he mentioned it very obviously that this was a punish pick. They didn't play the map at all, great at all, and they weren't really comfortable in rotations, in individuals, and we could see it on the server. It made perfect sense. Even Frozen, I think during halftime, he mentioned that they played similarly in practice. They wanted to come back on T-side, but ultimately it didn't happen, and Neo highlighted all of these things. But for the next 2 maps, I asked what has to change, and he just said very confidently, we have actually a game plan, we have better structure, and this is what they will hope that they will carry to the decider as well. So let's see how it goes.
Navi looking to speedrun this semi-final, proving exactly why they brought Ancient into the pool and making such a statement on that T side. As Tico said, he heard from Neo, it was a very apparent punish pick. We're not expecting it into this series. And that was pretty abundantly clear from the way Faze played on this first match.
What a clinical performance coming out of Navi, and what a clinical performance coming out of Makasi. I'm sure we're going to speak an awful lot about him, but just take note of the fact that Navi so far in the playoff yesterday made Furia look like a weak team on 2 out of the 3 maps, and even the one they did end up losing on Inferno, they probably should have won as well. This play and this level of gameplay we're seeing from Navi and the individuals is something we haven't seen in a very long time. I've no clue where it came from, but I like it when I see it.
And they start again really, really strong. They did that on all 3 maps yesterday. They continue that form today. And man, you gotta talk about Makasi. It's impossible not to highlight him, because he ruined that Faze side on their CT side. He was absolutely destroying them. I think that, this is one of the best T-side performances I've seen on the Ancient in this major. He ended up at 309 T-side rating on that first map. Absolutely incredible performance.
And it just goes to show, right? We were somewhat concerned, I guess, about the preparation time for Navi coming into this series. Sure, yesterday versus Fira, they had ample days to be practicing, to be honing in that preparation, to make sure it was razor sharp. Doesn't really even seem to make a difference if they have 20 hours versus 4 days of preparation coming into this one.
No, I mean, all the individuals, like Jacob mentioned, they're in form. This is not a game where Makasi is going to be the only star. They have wonderful, they have Imme, you know, they have all of these great individuals that can just shut down a Faze who needs to start get going. And I felt like they never got the chance to even enter the server on this Ancient. It was a couple of scrappy rounds. They always had to kind of crawl it back in their favor. And there was never a moment where I felt Faze had anything under control.
Let's be honest, right? If you're Blade and you're Lexi B, you're loving this, because this was just the first phase of whatever they prepared, right? You send Mikasa out middle, and normally he'd maybe get a 1-for-1 trade, or you get into a 3v3 or 4v3, but every single time he went out there, he got a multi-kill, he got a triple kill, he got a quadruple kill, you know, coming into it and just entering his way out of it. So essentially, we don't really know. Like, we didn't learn much from Navi and their T-side. They sent out Makasi in towards middle, and he was single-handedly destroying FaZe Clan. So do we know whether or not there was a second layer, a third layer, and in case, what would that have looked like? I don't know, you know, but they didn't need it.
No, they didn't even need to show their strategy. It was already over once they sent Makase in. I mean, this is a great timing he finds as well, getting that double entry. And, I mean, there is nothing else to talk about. This was Makase closing out an entire game almost by himself on this T side.
Tell me how hard that is to do as a rookie in this situation, right? Already having his first foray on stage, obviously, yesterday in the quarterfinal, but to go from that to this, a statement reference game coming in from him in his first ever major at Tier 1, that's something to behold.
And it's not against anyone. It's against one of the most experienced teams we have in Counter-Strike, FaZe, Karrigan, you know, and it is incredibly hard because it's not hard to know where he's coming from. It's not hard to know that he's going to go out there in middle and start some chaos. You can, you know, he utilized timings very good. He was, you know, shifting different positions. He was speeding up at times and taking you, as we saw the timing there in Donut, to kind of pressure the A guys when, because it's a normal reaction, right? You lose middle, you want to take space somewhere else, and Makase punished that instantly with the confidence and the fearlessness of his entry fragging.
It's just an incredible story, right? Because as you can see on your screen right here, right now, he kind of came out of nowhere. Blade, or the guy running the Navi Junior team in cooperation with Blade back in the day, brought him in 2023, and then he was there for 330 days before he finally got the call up to Navi. And in the beginning, we saw glimpses of Makase. We saw glimpses of a player that definitely had individual skill, but would often be caught off guard and wasn't mature enough. But slowly but surely he's developed, he's found his place, he's found his footing, sort of like what Bit also did when he first time came into Navi. There was also a lot of people saying, this Bit guy, yeah, we see the aim, but is he good enough? Is he cut for it? Blade stood by him. Blade said, yeah, wait and see. Give him a bit of time. I'm schooling him. I'm molding him. And look what we got out of Bit, right? Arguably a fantastic talent. Yeah, and that's the thing with Makasi. You ask how hard is it to do for you? Donk couldn't do it in the game that we just saw versus Vitality, right? And Donk is the best player in the world. Donk is trying his absolute best, but to single-handedly win a game for your team is something that happens 1 out of a million almost, in a sense. For him to find this much impact, where we're not talking about the second layer, the third layer, the fourth layer, whatever strat they have prepared, or whatever game plan they have prepared, that is insane. Now, it goes without saying, it was a great performance from Makasi, but we also do have to look at FaZe. It is a little bit ridiculous they weren't able to put up more of a defense, more of a response to Makasi, because he was doing the same thing over and over and over. So I don't want to take anything away from Makasi right here, but if you look towards FaZe Clan, we could and probably should expect a bit more.
Let's have a critique in a moment. Put a pin in that conversation for a moment, Jacob. 18 years old as well is Makasi. Do you even remember when you were 18 what you were like? Would you have been able to show this up on stage?
He was dropping his pants, you know.
No. I was 21. I've grown. I've matured by that time.
Sorry.
No, but I mean, I was essentially just playing around with Counter-Strike 1.6, obviously, back in the day, but yeah, nowhere near the level of Makase, nowhere near the level of composure that this guy shows on a big stage. And I mean, I barely showed composure in some of the matches that I played. We had 500 spectators sometimes, you know? This is a full stacked arena of 20,000 people roaring. And you can probably, I haven't tested it out myself, but if you stand on that stage, I'm pretty sure you can feel the rumbles.
He's been the best player of the playoffs so far, right? We've just seen Dong do incredible work against Vitality. We saw Saivu in his quarterfinal go absolutely crazy. McCarthy yesterday versus Furia had an awful lot of impact. He finished with a 1.43 rating. And so far in this game, I know it's just one map and it could be potentially a 3-map series, but in isolation, if you look at the playoffs so far, he's been the most impactful and the best performer. To say that about a guy that was under the loop for being maybe not good enough, maybe not mature enough, maybe not ready, is incredible. I feel like we had a lot of these stories with Jacob, you know, on one side on Faze, you know, stepping it up, Brokey coming into his revelation against, but for McCarthy to play at this level, nobody, as in absolutely nobody, could see that coming.
It's absolutely insane. Okay, I raise you the rookie on the other side that you just mentioned, Jacob. Fair play to him. There were a handful of rounds where he tried to make the difference. Obviously, didn't ultimately go in their favor, but fair play to him for not just crumbling under the pressure.
I think that's the key word. He tried, you know, and let's be completely honest, it wasn't for long. He wasn't really left with a lot of opportunities, but at the very least, he had a couple of moments in this game. First pistol round that Faze actually ended up winning. He was the one clutching it out, a 1v1. You then come into this round where there's a bit of a force fight going on. He's the one being sent out. He's the one entering. He's the one doing the job. Again, it's very hard to find anything positive for Faze in this game of Counter-Strike, but if there was one thing, I'd point towards Jacob, saying at least he wasn't the one who faltered under the pressure. So in that regard, that's a little positive, I guess, they can take on and bring into the second map. But if you look towards your Kerrigan, you look towards your Frozen, who even bottled a moment where he was flanking at a point in the game where it could have been close, those are the guys you want to step up. And on Ancient, we didn't see that at all.
And it's the kind of scenarios that you would normally see Faze thrive in. You know, cleared aim duels. There's not a lot of like detail into it. You know, well-timed flashes from Navi for sure. But it's these moments that Faze usually shine, that they can grab the entry, can, you know, out-duel their opponents, and that's not what we saw. So you get a little bit worried for Faze going into this nuke, because it's not a map you want to be cold on. That can be like a real trap card for you, where you just get mauled as you enter bomb site, mauled as you exit ramp. On that T side, and you never really get to these clear-cut duels and feel the game and try to outplay your opponents. It becomes a very grouped kind of team measure as you enter into spots. So I'm worried for Faze if they can't get their individuals active very early on.
I will say though, it's just one map, right? An Ancient is a map just like back in the days we used to describe Dust 2 as a snowballing kind of map, where if you don't win your pistol, if you don't convert it like Faze didn't do in this game, you don't get the economy, all of a sudden the game can be over in a blink. And we talked about it on our way up here. That was probably the fastest map we had so far in the playoff. Exactly. It took no time, blink and you miss it. So in that regard, if there's anything positive for Faze, is that they can't use anything that just happened right here. They can throw that out of the book, solely focus on nuke, and we have seen Faze in the playoff play nuke at a high level.
Just before we dive into nuke, I can see over your left shoulder, Devil Walk. Faze are the players first back up on stage here. Navi taking a bit more of an extended break. We got to see some pictures from them outside as well. So to revert back to your coach conversation, if you're Neo in this moment right now, what do you reckon the conversations were outside between map 1 and 2?
I think Neo is telling them not to worry about Ancient whatsoever. Again, as I said before, they can't really use that map for anything. There was no positive to drag out. If anything, maybe you could poke towards Jacob and say, good thing you didn't falter, but apart from that, leave it be. And then as Stuko, you know, invited us into saying right here, they feel like they have a good game plan coming into nuke. They're prepared for it. So all the focus right now, if you're Neo and if your Faze, should be on nuke. Ancient happened, they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, for Navi's side, I think Blade is just going to be driving in the details, looking at what they've kind of sought out to be the structure of Faze, how they want to play their T side, how they want to move the map. You know, we've seen a lot that they try to fake the vent drop, then go into yard smokes and kind of play off that pattern a lot. They early on in games tend to do ramp pushes, tend to do inside explodes, and then move further into yard control once they got control of the game. So we'll see if Blade has that understanding, has the timing of where and when Faze want to pop into those situations.
Pretty nuts that we're coming off this first map of Ancient and kind of only really talking about the rookies when there's so much storied veterancy on both sides of the equation. Of course, we've touched upon the coaches, but in-game leaders as well. For Kerrigan and Alexi B in this moment, just to maybe get a little bit emotional about Alexi, right? He's had to quell so much adversity throughout this series. He's mentioned, you know, the lack of real true S-tier trophies. I know they had a couple under their belt from this year, but not being able to make a dent in your Katowice, your Colognes, Austin Major as well back in May. It's such an incredible resurgence of form from somebody that we always praise to have such an eye and a brain for leading CS.
Alexi B is severely underrated, as you know, he can't be regarded as one of the GOAT in-game leaders because he doesn't have the accolades for that yet. Who knows, if he ends up winning this major, then we have to enter that conversation. But for him to go from ends, I'll never forget the picture when he was in ends losing a major final versus Dupreez Astralis back in the days, where he's sitting in the hallway crying, and then he gets kicked afterwards as well, and you think to yourself, what the hell is going on? Goes into OG, feels like he's stuck in some sort of elo hell where you can only do as much as you can with the player material he had. Then you go to G2, you think, all right, now you got players to work with, and that's, funnily enough, the one team where you can look towards LXB and say, maybe you didn't get the most out of that team. Maybe it didn't really work out for you, but as you said, Freya, once he got into Navi, once he got that, you know, I guess leadership worked up together with Blade, we saw in 2024 what he's capable of. He won a major in Copenhagen, right? No one saw that coming. No one expected that. So he is truly a great mind of the game.
I feel like he's an in-game leader who almost excels without superstars. He's an in-game leader who can get the best out of these hungry young players who want to make them a name for themselves in Counter-Strike, and that is not an easy task to do. It's probably the hardest job you can have as an in-game leader, leading inexperienced players and bring them up to the level that he has is unbelievable achievement in its own without the actual trophy accolades. Just the fact that they are competitive on a major stage with that kind of lineups, it's unbelievable from him.
Super impressive. For on the flip side, I just wanted to kind of pick your brain on this, Devil Walk. For Karrigan, do you remember the first time you saw his name coming up? Maybe the first time you played against him? Is it insane to see him still competing now?
I saw him back in the days, I think he was playing for Mouse Sports in 1.6. And I believe he was either the main AWPer or a hobby AWPer, so to speak.
Hobby AWPer, okay.
But he was definitely AWPing at times. I remember popped up when you actually mentioned that, a train game where I watched him, and he was the best player on the server by far. He was a beast in 1.6.
Is it crazy for you to see him, you know, leading a team like Faze now and still being so relevant, like, you know, close to 2 decades later?
Crazy to the point where you reference back to the first memory I have, yes, but I'm not surprised he is at where he's at. You know, he's continuously showed that he's a great in-game leader, has a great mind, and he's someone that always finds a way to win Counter-Strike games, always. And I feel even this major is a testament to that, where they've gone into this major struggling. He changes the way they approaches the game. They find wins, they keep on grinding, and they improve game by game. That is on Karrigan, and I have to give credit for him for that.
He's the definition of never giving up, because even when CSGO came out, he wasn't necessarily a great individual or a great player. He was playing, as you said, in Mouse. He was playing in faculty together with me. At the time, the third best Danish team. He was getting kicked left, right, and center until he found his identity, until he found his groove as an in-game leader. But in all those periods where he was facing adversity, he never gave up. And it's some of the same things we have to highlight now coming into the second map versus Navi in the semi-final. If there's one thing Karrigan can install in the players around him, it's that mentality of never giving up. It doesn't matter what the scoreline says, doesn't matter if you lost the first map in a good way or in a bad way, we're not going to give up. He said the same thing yesterday in the interview with James Banks heading into the quarterfinal. If there's one thing he cares about, it's never giving up. And I feel like that is part of the Faze DNA, and it comes directly from Karrigan and all the experience he's had as a player.
100%. Can't be given up now when it's your map pick that lays in wait. That is Nuke. Faze will be starting on the T side of things. That means Navi will be CT. What do we expect from some of the setups from Faze on this one?
I'm super curious to see how Faze is going to attack that, because in the quarterfinal versus Mouse, the T side was explosive, it was fast. We saw the classic play with Twist coming up silo into gate, into an inner default. I feel like we saw a lot of pace come out from Karrigan, but it's also a one-trick pony kind of thing. If you're doing that and you're doing it against a Navi that is ready for it, it's not going to work out. So it's very, very important for Karrigan to install the fact that you can play a default round and then throw in the surprises once in a while, because you can't play an entire T side versus a guy like Blade doing pocky stretch like that. You need some sort of stability, and that's what I want to see from Faze. Come out, win the first buy round, do the yard smokes, apply a bit of pressure in that regard, and then when the moment is there, do a ramp rush, do an inside split, send Twist up towards silo, let him do his work, but you can't do it from the get-go.
No, I think it's a lot about it is going to be how aggressive Makasi is on that yard CT side. Can he stop Twists? Can he make sure that he knows if it's a fake on yard or if it's actually a real kind of setup from them? So keep a track of the fakes, the vent drops. Are Faze comfortable enough to actually use it, or is it only going to be fakes? That's the kind of question marks I have going into it, because as you mentioned, it's been very simplistic in the kind of T sides that we've seen so far in the last 2 games. So yeah, I'm still a little bit worried for Faze, because their individuals also need to show up. It's not all about strats, they need to be hitting shots.
You should be worried for Faze, but I will say that there's one player you just highlighted right there, and that is Twist. I feel like ever since he rejoined Faze Clan, despite the team not really working out, despite the results haven't looked great, he's been playing at an incredible high level. You know, the comeback of Twist into Faze Clan in such a diversity time, it's been incredible to see. Now is where you need him. It's T-side nuke, that's where he does some of his best job. That's where Kerrigan spends a lot of energy setting him up. So if there's one player I look towards in the Faze camp right now, it's Twist. We cannot expect it coming out from Brokey in the same degree we've seen so far. It's not fair to put any expectations on Jacob. He's still a rookie who's been over-delivering and doing his job. So the stars and I guess the experienced players in Twist and Frozen will have to help out Kerrigan getting a T-side.
Well, Navi storming straight through that first map of Ancient. Faze are gonna have to be thinking fast now. It's time to head into map number 2 of Nuke.
A one-sided affair on Ancient Nuke, a more familiar territory, but will we see a more familiar Faze? Navi just 1 map away from a major grand final. Budapest! Let's play some Counter-Strike, shall we? These majors come around just twice a year now, and looking to end the season with the trophy. How tantalizingly close both of these squads are. For Navi, it feels even closer.
Well, Kerrigan said coming into this, he wanted to entertain the crowd. So far, not present and correct. Fan favorites floundering. Can they find their form on their comfort pick? Most played map of the major campaign. Being lined up, Util landing in, door blown off, smoke comes in, Molly as well.
Okay, Imma's going to be forced to reposition. He's done very well! Exceptional! Double kill, make it 3! Imma's teaching us how to count. Faze set back to spawn!
Well, you wouldn't quite believe it, but that's Navi's first pistol of the series.
Oh, wow, and what a way to pick it up. Imma, one-man army just unloading.
They had everything covered there as well. Makazi in the vent for the slip, denies any way out. We got major winning calls on either side of the server. But beautiful from Imma. You'd think with all the players who have those trophies to the name, we'd be talking about each and every one of these superstars, but Makazi, the rookie. Ancient specialist, or is there a whole lot more? He had a mad map, number 1. Let's see if they keep it up. Faze forced without the plant. Red smokes in. And across.
Yep, he's in the right place, Jab. Perfect from Bit. Starts secret, catches Twist, and confirms no one's hope. It's Rap, the focus of their aggressions. Wonderful's ready to, and willing to take the first. Frozen going down, as is Kerrigan trying to get the bomb in. Bit's already there. Everything they try, now we have a response, and they've got individuals in the right place.
This is ridiculous. This is insane, right? I understand this is a force buy, but not having a single kill in the first 2 rounds of play kept nothing to your name. And this will be guaranteed by Alexi. Bit of a sketchy spam on the MP9, but picture perfect for 2. And if anyone's going to poke holes in your strat book, it's going to be Blade and Alexi. You take a look at their major run, they have a loss. 1 on Nuke. That was to Furia, but they started on the T side. Right now, we get to see them put up the blue wall and continue to run with that momentum.
It's all going to plan.
Yeah, Eco now for Faze. A couple of digs. Looking for those headshots. Never meant to be this easy.
Yeah, well, Makaze's more than happy to take a fight on his terms. Ready to stand and bang with the unarmored D. Flash of thigh. Incendiary force down. Image support ready on main side. Jacob throws a couple of pot shots down range. It's not going to do much. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon, because Jacob has taken down Makaze. And an opportunity, see Carrigan tries to accelerate,
Spor,
but it is
emot,
short-lived
emot,
celebration. The party crashes are in. Ima wants his. And it's going to be another one from the roof side. Twist can't seem to stabilize. One more bullet would have done it. Wonderful's low. Bleeding out. Doesn't stop him from ready to take another head. A drive-by Tech 9. Call it 3. They're having fun, chat. The smiles on their faces. Members of the crowd haven't given up just yet. And I'm sure FaZe Clan haven't either, but it's going to be very hard when you've got, what, 2 Deagle kills to your name coming into round 4.
Yeah, it needs to start now, right? It was so slow out the gates. They were being dictated to throughout within that first map of play. That FaZe bite as bit, he is just loving this. Multi-time major winner odds. Heavily.
Bir şey oldu, staff ile Faze gibi bir şey oldu. Bitti Faze.
Wonderful, feeling himself. First gun round, you try and throw a spanner into the works with an aggressive orb line deep into the lobby. Carrigan sits Makaze down. Wonderful's ready for your swing. He's got Carrigan. A belated trade. Orb's position noted. Twist in a power position. How long will that smoke last? Oh, overlooked, catching him on the mantle up. He could have a multi here. They're trying to boost. Oh, instantaneous deletion. A quick tap to the head of Ime. And now you dip down the vents. B-side's open for business, boys.
Okay, well, they can hold that rotation. Twist and Frozen out the single door. Jacob and Brokey to breach double. They're marooned right now on the top deck, so bomb will get planted at FaZe. Find their opening with a Carrigan smoke spam, but a Twist one tap as the 2 of them trying to boost up into the rafters will be the save.
Really cheeky from Twist.
This series goes one of 2 ways. Either it's shades of Copenhagen. We say Navi, welcome back to the big leagues. Or FaZe, draw us into the classic third map decider of Inferno. There's a lot of work for them to do to find that convincing. Now they're fortunate to find themselves on this comfort pick. Both teams are going to do their best work on home turf. And they've had some very tough matches throughout the campaign. Remember, oh, how close they were on Nuke from being eliminated back in stage 1. But here they are, still alive. How are they kicking?
Yeah, we were casting that Vitality game, managing to take them down. That was a sign, a little flash of FaZe's comfort on this map.
Early attack timeout from Blade. He would love the pistol, the conversions were brilliant. You lose an opening kill to a smoke, the adjustment can't be crazy.
It was Twist being overlooked as well, just his progressions, he's not playing scared. Slips into main, overlooked by Ima, called upon to boost, and just a quick tap to the skull to seal the deal.
So how spotless it was in the run of 3, don't you worry about those finances. You add that to the saves, and they're sitting pretty right now as it was that opening kill. Just okay, round and moving Carrigan up to his nonsense as Twist secures it with that one.
What is that, divine intervention? He's just running and shooting, referee.
Curious, Navi. All this money, not a single defuse kit.
Ooh, remember, that could be something.
Make sure you guys know what you want to do after you guys take the round. We can always chill. But if you guys want to rush down, you do it, and let's communicate. Let's fucking go. Good fucking shoot.
Wonderful, they want round. Early action as the smoke wall is erected. It was disrupted, you can see that gap forged, but smoke break's not going to reward. Wonderful remains patient on that line. What is the go sign for FaZe Clan?
Ima is going to fight Twist in secret.
He is, a little collision. Oh! Perfect placement of the crosshair. Ima jumps straight into it.
Now there's 2 on ramp. Bit is joining Wonderful. He's dropped down to the lower deck, fortifying B.
Worried about the slip of Twist. Losing Ima, Alexi B in transition as well. Navi try and rejig the setup. Forward stance, Jacob anticipating this once again. Jacob and Makaze clashing, these 2 mates. Rohi gets Jacob 10. Shot onto Makaze. Extends their advantage, they can't fumble this now. It's an open runway.
Stacking top.
Oh, but they might be running into it. Bit finds himself here. Will burrow towards Mustang. It's Carrigan cooking up a flank. They'll let him go first. Held by Bit. Don't fancy Carrigan's chances in that 1-to-1.
30 seconds now.
They are going to have to hurry this up. Alexi B. Oh, there's the flash. Brilliant. Blocked by Brookie. Flashback. Number 2 on the menu. Alexi B still takes 2, but it's insufficient. Trying to slink away.
Had spotted there.
Spot him, yeah. I don't know if it goes both ways. Wonderful, just looking to preserve his AWP here. Spots Carrigan in that balaclava, will remove, reveals his position, but that should be it. Phase 2, Navi 3.
Yeah, looking a whole lot more at home right now, aren't they? Both Twist and Jacob delivering when the fights come their way. And Wonderful has been in elite form, elevating his play from what has been a tough year. He's been in the scope, not the one looking down it. The level of play from this kid around their run from stage 2. The playoff stage has been marvelous, sublime. A thing of beauty. It's Mikaze though. Has read a player in the playoffs only so far.
Not bad for his first attempt. Carrigan finding that impact, and he needed to find Alexi before things went awry. Double kill already from the Finn.
Well, not laughing anymore is Bit, but they get the guns out again. They lose this one, they're out of cash.
And Brokey dispatched with the AWP.
This time there's more than just twists. He's going to play through the smokes, get behind main. Brokey and Jacob are going to take the space.
Ooh, smokes. Masking the aggression. Twist getting cheeky with it as Imma good for it. How's he found Frozen? Just turns around, spins about face, and finds Frozen in the smoke. Weird one now, very weird. You've got a bit very segregated Carrigan. He's completely detached.
Yeah, and Imma stayed active. He immediately pivoted in towards Warehouse. There's a flash coming in through Yard. Imma's going to pick off the back of it. He finds Finn. This one's done.
It. There's Imma. Surely this one's over now. Not feeling good.
They should be able to get the bomb down here.
2 on 4. Imma a triple kill. Now Wonderful, the first man to arrive on the scene. It's Jacob. Spots the shadow. Here's the orb. Sound off. Looking to punish. Wonderful anticipates. Too many bodies on his screen. It's Imma. Quad kill. Licking his lips for the ace. He's come close before. Brokey to try and deny. Does so. Now Navi just to put it in, the fuse is commencing. A 10-seconder being stuck. Brokey trying to work his magic, but he's running out of options. Needs to get him off the ball. Needs to get him off now. Covers there. Fit delivers. It's closer than they would have liked, but Navi, they do return serve.
Okay, 4-2, 2-round gap. That one's all about Imma, isn't it? People talk about Twist not being an aggressive rifler. He's playing straight through that main smoke. Finds that opening kill. We'll catch it again. Timing perfect, nade in the hand, traded, and then Imma just unloads, thinking the gap towards door is going to be pipped. And a premonition from the gods as this man keeps on delivering. 4 kills, that's his round. Keeps the money alive for Navi.
Just what they needed.
Back underway is Carrigan. Making the calls, but also throwing the smoke, setting up his boys again. Jacob Twist, Brokey. Take the room behind the wall. Mikaze, the man out here to break.
This is very aggressive. Imma brings the fight forward. They were not ready. He subverts the expectation with excellence. Forward position, 2 Faze members now in early graves.
You love to see this from Imma, don't you?
Beautiful. Just what they needed. A mix-up and a quick flick up from Wonderful, sealing the deal. They can't even get going. They can't even get started. Brazen from Carrigan, AWP retrieval bomb as well, now on his back.
Frozen's been the hero. A couple of outings for Faze on Nuke, but he's yet to get going on this T side. 0 and 4.
No better time than now.
But money's on the line.
He bides his time, waits for Carrigan to join him. Now starts to make his move. Wonderful's dropped into the site, responsible for the hut side. Out squeaky door, that falls to Alexi.
They can get down the vent, there's a way.
That's the fight. Quick from Alexi. Double again. We've seen his name coming in twos right now. 6 frags already for Alexi B on the CT side.
Okay, well, you've taken control of the finances. Neo's going to call a tactical timeout to get on the mic.
Yeah, slow this down.
Not a lot he can say going into this, but it's these opening exchanges. Short twists, pips Makazi with an 8 in hand, but it's Immer who's been the man dishing out the damage.
How often do you see a player just walking up the secret stairs?
Right, so this is it. I said it before, and I'll say it again. If you're looking for any 2 members to be poking holes in the strap book, Blade and Alexi, looking at all that tape, you've played this map 6 times throughout this campaign. This is where it's tough for Carrigan to be able to call his team in. You can't run with what's worked before. If they found the counter, you need to find some
inspired mid-rounding. That's something Carrigan certainly got in his wheelhouse. We'll see this again. Look how just
they're not ready for it at all,
not prepared, because no one's doing that.
He's just waltzing up. There's nobody top silent, nobody monitoring that push at all. Some creativity in the calling. You'd expect that to be a bit of a Carrigan specialty. Now, Deagle's in a scout, so looking to do some damage, but this one's getting away from you again, Faze. T-side nuke, we're looking for 4.
They just want to get this party started. A string of 2 rounds, all they have to boast. They need a lot more than that. Carrigan's already taken heavy licks from the spam. Mikaze is anticipating the draw. Immer covering his backside, ready to biff on. Close angle against pistols, but it's Deagles. He's ready. That's a quick shot. Carrying a little taste of his own medicine, not needing to counter-strafe for Zimmer. First blood once again going the way of Navi. These openings consistently against FaZe Clan.
He's found 3 in the early stages of nuke.
Flash of a little bit of flesh. Wonderful, trying to be caught out, trying to play the game. Whoa. That's nice from Frozen.
Oh, he's on the board at least.
Uses his Deagle on the sniper like one.
Twist has to drop in, have to double swing, mate.
Yeah, right. They need to try and overwhelm in the way for Brokey. Swings on through. Makazi's been spotted out. There's the drop. There's the finish. Team play on display. Jacob again with this Desert Eagle. Our FaZe doing it on the Desert Eagles, doing them dirty. Jacob down. Alexi B under so much scrutiny. He'll dip away.
Bomb's not with him, Alex.
A little more
the bomb's
manageable.
Not with him. It's outside of main.
That's why they weren't anticipating this to go this way. Now Bit catching one, flies up the ladder. A double kill, twist in the clutch. This could be something. This could be a fire starter, but you mentioned the bomb. He needs to throw. Oh! Alexi B stands his ground.
You can't leave the package behind. Gotta get that down. Gotta get that planted. Use it as the extra piece where you left it behind and it's cost you. You didn't think you had any chance with the pistols in your hands. And leaving the bomb outside a lobby.
You got to have a cool head on your shoulders to not fumble under the pressure of that one. Your teammates have fallen. Foul to the Desert Eagles.
They work so well off of each other to find these frags, and then left this 1v1 twists. Can't pull out the miracle, but they're out with the guns now. Kept it hot under the collar for Navi.
Yeah, but you need to be able to convert the round in order to make that mean something.
Twist is quick on this.
Look at that. Check the pathing on him. He's caught 50 damage.
Going into Warehouse.
Half health. Warehouse not going to be deterred by the early damage. He could have the back turn. Mikaze covered under the guise of the smoke. Him into a 10 to the potential, but here's the rotation. Oh. Wonderful! Nearly got him. Awkward now. Big gets accelerated on in the ramp side. It's Frozen that keeps it level.
Defensive smoke.
Yeah, he'll dip away.
What?
What's he up to? Alexi B getting cheeky, getting very cheeky. Carrigan will punish. A messy spray from both parties.
They're trying to capitalize on A right now. Carrigan's just throwing out a lurk smoke door. Makazi thinks there's players outside, worried about door as well. Wonderful's about to clear this for him. If they drop down vent, Immer's B. They have to get past Makazi if they want to take side. And right now they're rotating around the world. Wonderful just called outside clear. They know that ramp has been infested. The possibility to go heaven and hell is open. He has to monitor this, but Makazi tucks into A. 37 seconds, starting to go noisy on this one.
And he's there in time. Eye to the scope, Carrigan down. Just like that, it really doesn't feel good. Brokey and Frozen. Frozen walking with a limp at 12 HP. Brokey's going to have to do a lot of the heavy lifting here, and Mikaze, he's primed, and he's ready. Brokey's not looking. Just waltzes into the crosshairs, and there's another for Mikaze.
Just as we thought, Faze was starting to look a little bit comfy. That's 4 consecutive rounds for Navi. Basking the best of excellence here. This is a CT side to be revered right now. They are blowing Faze out of the water. Again, I set the bar. You only need 4 or 5. But they're going to have to do this late in the piece. And Navi are flowing. The Faze journey, you thought it was all too good to be true. The greatest showman. Looks like he's packed up one series too early. Top pop on the ready. So it comes down to timing.
It certainly does. It's going to be paid for him. It's more than ready for that. Anti-flash, bodies in bags. Carrigan, twists, all gone. Just the one discrepancy. No problems here. Absolutely none. Brokey, sure, you found one, but Bit's got your number. You're in the corner, cowering in fear. As you should be, Natus Vincere. 8 on the CT side. Edging ever closer to a major grand final.
Yeah, this is tough for Faze, isn't it? Take another tactical timeout. Again, it's just about salvaging the half. That's what we said on Kitchen. In fact, we're saying it again here on Nuke, Schultz, T-side. Trying to stay a realist, trying to stay to the roots of Counter-Strike. What you expect, what the stats tell you. Just not seeing enough fight out of Faze. Where are the multis? Where's the bullshit? That eco round with the Deagles, the scout, that was their way to ignite that fire. But Emma with another opener. This guy is looking locked in. You go back to Parrish, you're thinking, okay, this guy's the next big thing, but it's been a while since we've seen him in this type of ferocious form.
Alex bir 9'u göğüç benim. Niye huyası?
It's ugly.
It's not the time where you want to be feeling that you're dry on ideas. Immer, he's not. He wants to fight. He wants to brawl. Brokey catches his aggressions. An opening kill. For how long, though? Can they maintain this advantage? Aggressions on the roof side. Jacob feeling himself. Could be caught by Wonderful on an uncrowd. Just as easy as that. Back level. Momentary success. And on low HP, Twist once again tries to get cheeky with it. Wonderful anticipating the potential. Kaze maneuvering to be able to perhaps walk up those stairs with his partner in crime.
With him, so emboldened. They are going to make this push. They just keep moving. These pieces well-oiled right now.
Yeah, and it could be Brokey caught out as well. You can see back is turned on that red container. Makaze bringing this aggression. There's the jiggle. You get the info, but you give him the fight. You better be ready.
Bomb's loose now.
To pull the trigger first because Makaze's quick with it. Frozen going to test his luck, trying Alexi B on his bomb site. He's passed every test so far, and he'll do it again. Frozen caught out, Makaze quick to lend a hand up the ladder, staying so nimble, so dynamic. This Navi CT side, it's everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Wonderful even has a good idea that it's possible they could be beneath him. Bit does get sidelined. Okay, wasn't communicated, wasn't certain.
Down the vent, that has to be the rotation here.
Yeah, they'll be quick about this. Carrigan and Twist. Up against the three of them. Makaze makes it clear where he's at. Looking to punch in the code is Carrigan. Twist to provide the covering fire. He wants to try and isolate him while he's there. Booked him in the corner. A power position from Twist. The frag changes everything. Now a 2-on-2. Carrigan, however, brought down. He hasn't got the health for this. It would have to be spectacular. It would have to be magnificent. Twist to get the fire started. A little something from Faze. It's Twist. Delivering when Faze needed most in a major semi-final. Something to hold on to. A third T-side round on their map pick. Is that anything? Will that make a difference?
That's the question right now, and it's all if they can piece this together. This is great. Twist was on 9 HP since the start of the round. Right, he took heavy flak damage when they were taking the Arc control early. The fact he has gotten this much done on this low of HP sets his team up with something. And again, 4 rounds. That's what they're looking for here. One more before we head to that halftime break. One more to keep Faze's mental in it.
This time, Makaze's going to try his hand even after cutting down. One attempt in the previous. Yeah, Twist was not ready for that. An important trade. Jacob delivers. Orp is posted on the broken smoke. A missed shot whistles past the ear of Carrigan. He'll make it down. Jacob able to provide the cover of the flank downstairs. Carrigan going quickly. He wants to try and chase a timing he may have caught here. Swiftly into that lower side. SCP an auto shotgun. Looking for that close quarters engagement, lobby side.
Right now, so separated, Faze.
Yeah, it's going to be individual heroics. Hang on. A flash of flesh spots Alexi. Unloads his mag, and now perhaps Bit has him dead to rights on this fight. Oh, Frozen! Nails it, removes Bit. Awkward now for Navi in their last defensive round. An opportunity for Faze to sit on a comfortable pillow of 4.
How do Jacob and Frozen connect with the bomb down beat? Brokey and Carrigan starting to walk forward. Wonderful. Catches Jacob. 3v3 now. Anybody's round.
This gets weird now. Auto shotgun turns his back. Frozen feasts. Alexi's gone. Weird retake. That was the kit. Hang on. Frozen's low HP. He's got the perfect weapon. USP. Tracks it. Takes the head. Takes the upgrade. An AK. They're going to give it everything it's worth. No reason not to.
Smoke for the bomb.
Brokey, this is an awkward fight. You're not going to get tested, though. Imma pathing double side. Carrigan dug in deep on Dark. That's a good place, Molly. The incendiary's going to burn him out. No, it's not. No, it's not. He's found a safe haven. It's perfect. He'll be overlooked. Just like that, a back is turned. Carrigan takes the spray. A 4th round for Faze. It's secure. Something to work with. Fighting for survival. Fighting to take this to that 3rd map of Inferno. It's all up for debate. Don't you go anywhere.
No comeback, no comeback. Yutsanjalar 3. kattaga holim yo'q o'shga bog'lan. Simple kimga balet o'qiydigan. Ham از این
Fleeting signs of life from Faze as they fight for survival on the major stage at semi-finals. And this Saturday's delivered for Navi. Impeccable counter-strike. This machine fully operational, everything flowing. But a low HP 1v2 from Russell Twist Van Dulkin gave them 2 of the 4 at the tail end of that attacking half. Now we swap sides. A pistol feels necessary. So much riding on around a counter-strike.
Heading towards ramp. They want to test Frozen. Had a couple of kills there late within the piece. They don't have to warm him up.
Yeah, trying to take something. Forced off. No overreaction. Frozen's in the right position. The bunny hops are naughty. Couldn't track it. Forced away.
The Defensive smoke.
Gives him something to play around. An unorthodox position perhaps for that one tap. He needs to find something here. They're searching for it, spreading out, combing the area. Oh, too much to track. Good from Carrigan and Brokey. It's wonderful with one back. Sure, you've removed Frozen, but FaZe have the advantage here.
Bomb's not getting planted yet.
Not yet. Another headshot. Jacob's USP removing Makaze. Ima's got too much to handle. Overcome, overwhelmed. A 1v3 for Wonderful. Doable. Possible. Fresh magazine, 30 HP. He wants to fight, and Carrigan welcomes it. FaZe Clan find that pistol.
Fight is the key word of that pistol round. The rotation time was there. The support network, the defensive smoke. Frozen did his job. Sure, he didn't get a kill, but he delayed. They asked the question, where's he gotten off to? The cavalry arrived, and they all delivered. And they all wanted to continue to swing. They have denied the bomb going down in this situation. They have bought themselves a buffer. It should be an eco right now from Navi. You deny the plant, you limit the force options. And we'll just get a couple of pistols into this. This gap feels more manageable. CT side nuke now. Hold up a second.
What?
Into the top side. Bit makes the first incision. Jacob, the top anchor, dead. Number disadvantage extremely early in the round.
Sometimes that's just how the rookie crumbles.
Another one of those, and this one does start to become a real question. Piping up through Secret. Carrigan, do you really want to offer them this? In-game leaders, they love to play for info.
Twist should have this every day of the week. A couple of bursts at the MP9, a sigh of relief. He's been here before. There's at least one on the floor. Carrigan shows his presence, finishes off what that MP9 started. Nice dunk. Removes him, bit caught going walkabout. Brokey, quick tap. Staying composed. This is a gimme round, and it's going to be finishing that way. It was Apex that described FaZe Clan saying they never die. Just when you doubt them, they find 2 rounds at the end of a half.
Yeah, next round's going to be the important one. Rifles will come into the hands of Navi. I want to see what their approach is. Jacob, 5 and 12. Nice shot there from Alexi. So they want to try and bully the kid on the top side. He'll be connecting with twists. Those would be the A defenders. He's done a serviceable job. He's only been building up steam. The hyperbolic time chamber of their major run. We've seen Jacob start to go from strength to strength. Here's the opener. Bang. Sheesh. But do they want to try and bully him? Is it a weakness? Is it a way in? Is it even part of the game plan? Does Blade have something a whole lot more potent in store? But his boys bail him out, and they take 2 casualties, but now the gun's equipped. A couple of Galils, mainly AKs, lighter on the util. Makaze will be responsible for taking the yard space. Carrigan's starting down Secret again. It looks like they want to put pressure on Frozen once more, so partnering up in radio behind the smoke. Speaking of smokes, wall dotted across yard. Problems everywhere for FaZe.
Solid connection on the HE. He's got the reload in before they test him. Carrigan's been forced
Ima's
away.
going to flash this.
There's the molly, there's the attempt, and he will dip. Frozen concedes the space, but maintains his life. You'll have Carrigan connect with on that B side of the map. Makaze trying to perhaps amplify the pressure from the Secret side. It's Frozen actually re-aggressing. Carrigan's going to join him. He might not be ready. Wonderful looks like he is, though. Brokey draws fire. Frozen removes ahead. Wonderful's gone. Bit crouches under the second follow-up.
Now they can play the man advantage. They don't need to keep forcing this fight. Hard work's done.
He does get another Frozen. That's exceptional hold. Pieces it together.
So awkward.
Masterful.
Makaze still down Secret. Alexi to play through ramp.
Alexi B does well to control the Galil, but caught by Carrigan on the swing back in. Makaze reveals himself, but costs a lot of health. Just 8 points of him left in the server. No chance for anything out of him. No hijinks, no funny business.
Twister's trying to track him down, make sure he can't escape through Secret, but the avenue up the ladder. That'll be the save right now. So Makaze Retains the AK, loss bonus going into the next to 2,900, so there can be some light. Oh, hold up, he could go down after time here. The push is coming, Carrigan can take it! And he does! 350 bucks, that's all you got, kid!
Oh, that is gonna hurt. That's gonna leave a mark. That's gonna have echoes and ramifications.
Looking too far into the future was I. That was meant to be the statement piece of round number 16. So there can be upgrades, sure. Don't think you'll take the timeout in this one if you play, but right now, this is what I consider a limbo position, right? The fact that they actually back off and then reinitiate after that first kill, it's so jarring for Navi, right? They're hoping to hold on to that space, and Faze are testing the timings, right? How long can we sit here before they really start to think we are just ghosts, that we've evaporated, that we're playing that man advantage, and Frozen delivers a massive triple against the first rifle round. That's impact, but that's how you define a round like that. Giving themselves another quote-unquote gimme right now. There's life in this after all. Need to deny Navi hope by winning this one.
Oh, there's a fight. Twist lucky to be alive. The deagle round softened up by the staircase.
He's a lucky man right there.
Yeah, man, that was close to being a horrible opening death. He'll dip out. Frozen's just demonstrated how valuable playing your life is.
But this top side's going to be weak. They're going to come in main.
Okay, well, Carrigan can pass this test. He sees multiple bodies, gets caught out, overrun by the Tech-9s, and then an audible run straight towards the Hell side.
Bro, he's not ready for this. He's smoking main. If he goes back down, he's in trouble.
Oh, my goodness.
There's a massive gap.
There's a real opportunity. Wonderful now onto Brokey. This is getting weird. This is getting uncomfortable. FaZe Clan now sweating. They need a response. They need an answer. The A side through the heaven. Opportunity. Missed burst cover from Jacob. That's an important kill. Frees them up. Sure, the bomb's down. Oh, but so's Twists. Falling apart now. Navi, a golden opportunity. The post blood. It's right there for the taking. Wonderful brings the fire. Lexi B up on hub. Runs them down. They don't even need guns to find themselves a T round.
And that right there, that bullet through the wall into Twists caused so many issues. The top side becomes weak. Yard becomes an option. They're scrambling to reset, and Navi erupt. That is robbery right there. I said it should have been a gimme. Navi find 9.
Wonderful playing a big part in that as well.
Great responses to all of those details, and Brokey goes down to the bomb. Frozen loses it all.
From bad to worse, and Makaze losing his extra cash, dying after time doesn't cost them the next round either.
This is a bigger issue for FaZe. Right, their loss bonus was bottom of the barrel. They only get 1,400 coming into that. So the financial situation is bleak for multiple members. A tactical timeout called. The final one from Neo. He used 2 in the first half just to get them back in contention. They dropped what should have been their round. That was their chance to tie this up, to then maybe build a bit more cash. A bet to fall back on if something does go wrong. And now you have to show. Now you're in the scenario where you have to buy. But it's going to be weak in areas. There are going to be some key omissions in this purchase.
But not in the sniper department.
Just with the smoke walls up, then it feels that Brokey is going to have to insert himself into the play. It'll have to be something aggressive. And here it is, the bullet through the corner of red. So Twist lucky to be alive, but maybe it would have been better if he'd just gone down in that situation, because the setup, it crumbled.
I love their aggression as well. Like, as soon as they knew they were playing Ben's side, just running at them, using those Tech-9s.
What do you guys think? We commit to this, we buy, and we fucking win the round. Let's go, boys. Keep believing.
Neo's called him into this.
Okay. Coach Neo, and it is a jump scare, bit caught mid-air. Brokey's all a surprise.
Kazi's ahead of the smoke wall, playing for a fight.
Okay. There's a lot of Navi behind that smoke.
Twist is already down on B. Playing control, Windows side.
He's had output on low HP already here on Nuke, would need to do it again. Otherwise that B bomb site likely to fall. Underguarded. How diligent is Navi's clears here? You're going to go through the motions. It's Makaze up to bat. It's a FAMAS on 13 HP versus a full health AK-47. Oh, he's ready! Quick flick!
Now they're in.
Just like that, the B-side's there. It's flying there from Brokey's orb, and now that orb doesn't feel so good. Hoping for output. Not going to be given anything from the pathing of Makaze.
Carrigan can't find Imma.
He's walked past him in the smoke, and yeah, it looks like they'll just have to back away. You got what you wanted. You surprised them with the buy. You get the opening kill, but Navi remain composed, and the 10th is theirs.
Imma might get a couple kills here on the hunt.
Yes, sir. Jacob caught out, was running around completely nonsensical. It's Brokey that's trying to preserve the orb. He'll get away with it.
This game's had a real stop-start fashion to it, and this is exactly how Navi wanted to play. Never letting Faze get the multi-kills, never letting them drag them into the mud with the chaos. Right, it's map control. You get a kill with stalls, we take some territory. Another one comes in, maybe one back and forth, but they always feel like they're the ones in the driver's seat. So it's been a pitter-patter on Nuke right now. There's no chaos. I think we're close to our conclusion. 10-7, money in tatters, a couple of guns saved, and no timeouts left. Carrigan going to have to confer with Twist, who's playing an off angle right now. In this position, you're going to be throwing util over towards ramp, but Makaze with the clear unravels that play. They've gone in again, behind the safes. MP9s to try and draw them back into this, but it feels dire, it feels hopeless.
Composed. So close to a major grand final now. Can Carrigan disrupt this walk, this crawl? 2 across. Unannounced. Should be safe on the pixel. Just playing to block. Oof, warded off. Eats lead.
Right now with the chessboard moving, I favor Navi.
Returning to the orb side though, Brokey is posted from lockers. Wonderful could peek into him. That's the team play once again.
Just beautiful.
Flawless.
It's all beautiful.
It's a joy to watch, and so is that. Twist gets overlooked, profits greatly. A double kill Makaze for the trade. He's in trouble now. Brought down.
3v3.
A step heard. Imma starting his pathing, lingers in lobby. Carrigan getting active, secret site, no one home. Navi have regrouped. Strength in numbers, timing from Carrigan, maybe something. Jacob's got a lot of work to do though. A lot of work! Oh no, the MP9 betrays him. Couldn't get it done. Maybe Frozen could show him how it's done with a quick double. Awkward 10 seconds. Imma to come up clutch. Ops to go on top. Frozen's gonna play the clock. Dips appears, dips up the ladder. Is there time? There is. I think he's got it in time. Gets it down. Imma in the clutch. Wallbang connects. Low HP. Imma's just hanging on by a thread.
4 bullets.
Gets away from it. Frozen trying to hold it. Imma's not going to peek it with the low HP. No way! The audacity! The sheer audacity! You can't be doing that. Not in a sold-out stadium. Not in a major semi-final.
That goes against everything we know about Arena Counter-Strike. Sitting and defuse.
It's against the rules.
How's he gotten away with that one?
I can't believe it.
The buzzer beater on the plan. It goes down. Round stays on. And Frozen. The ball's on this man.
Oh, God. Ice cold from Frozen.
I can't fucking believe that. I cannot believe he has just stuck a defuse in a 1v1. Then make it a 1v3.
1v3?
I cannot.
Just outrageous.
Okay, well, another lifeline. Twist gives you a clutch. Frozen gives you a clutch. It's 2 rounds the difference. Navi got the money, but game's still on.
Navi looking flustered. Blade certainly was there in the cams. Does that ignite that fire in the belly of Faze? Because Frozen's just hit them with utter bullshit.
Gotta make good on that though, don't ya? Gotta level them here. Gotta go back to back. You need the consecutive. Ramp aggress, AWP, Frozen working together. Wanting to play within the mid-rounds. establishing smokes towards Yard. Mikaze and Bit playing behind.
Going through.
Looking for...
Going through on the reload. In trouble. Carrigan's a dead man walking. 7-8 feet. Bit finishes the job. They lost Imra on lobby.
They know the clamps come in. They can spread now. Take heaven and hell.
What's the move? Mantling up his Bit.
It's going to be Jacob on A again. He needs something this time. The MP9, no good. The M4, we know this kid can aim, but the pressure getting to him now. Just 6 kills for the young Pole. Anything he can deliver gives Faze a chance in this. They're going to come flooding out of heaven in a moment.
Has he got the nerve? Can he hold it? He needs something. Jacob delivers the headshot. Clothesline Mikaze, number 2 denied. It's Bit there. Big back on towards the lobby side. It's wonderful brought down by Frozen. Weird one now.
Broke up the vent.
He has to come up the vent. Spotted. Not going to get away with it. Maybe that's enough of a bait, though. Maybe that draws their attention away. Frozen! Can he froze it? Yes, he can! Impact on impact. Frozen makes it a 1-round game.
More nonsense there, and Jacob needed something. One was enough. It kept the tide of battle with the trades in their favor. And Frozen, he has activated. Look at this, down the ladder. Wonderful gets twist. Frozen with the immediate trade. Brokey draws the attention. Bit plays forward. Frozen, emboldened, closes this one down. And this show's only in the second act.
How can you not be entertained?
Ram pressure, all here.
Brokey's here, scoped up, misses his shot, needs help. Best desperate for backup, it's on its way. Oh! Quick one from Bit.
Do they swing?
Frozen's delayed. They will, they take the fight. Frozen unable to provide. It's Carrigan up front. It's awkward now, backing away, pressure applied. Ramp is lost.
Wonderful's got his AWP now. He missed down the vent. This is a massive slip.
There's still a body down here.
Twist finds him.
Yeah, but Twist has to adjust.
The fadeaway!
Unreal! Problematic!
You know what that means?
It's surely gotta be.
I don't want to say it.
It has to be.
The only option for Faze. It has to be the same.
Imma down the vents, that takes balls. And it had to be a quick kill. Twist was there for the flick up, could have adjusted, but such a quick time to kill.
Clutches aren't going to cut it. Navi packing a punch. Flustered Brokey. Brutal Bit. And Imma still making moves. His impact in this map, undeniable. Navi up to 11.
It's a full team effort. The Navi stars shining short. 2 rounds is all they need.
No Brokey ult for this one. Carrigan's going to hook Twist up with the M4, means he's going to probably operate on a Famas. Brokey might be able to get gifted an MP9. That's going to limit the possibilities. There's the one that whistled by, the one that he wished he hit, the one to give them at least something. And this one, the fade away. Imma on the straight back. Twist thought he had his number.
Again, compromised.
1900 for either team into the next. Faze lose this, that's the game.
Is this where it ends? Oh, there are a few more twists and turns. Budapest lusts for a 3rd map. But Navi want to keep this clean.
Top pop, Neutral's lined up. Mikaze pathing outside. He's going to come in through main.
That's his plan. He's only got to get past Carrigan. Jacob under scrutiny. Carrigan holds his nerve, holds his side. Down goes Jacob. Awkward now, surging into the side, but maybe Brokey completely overlooked. Oh! Can't find the transfer, but maybe Frozen's arriving so quick. Oh, Lee. Double from Carrigan. He's low HP. Wonderful can win this. Faze's hopes of extending play. Riding on denying the Wonderful clutch. It's Frozen, healthy. AK in hand as Wonderful slings back to the lobby.
Carrigan's dropped down B.
Okay, stays quiet.
Problem is, if he thinks it's vent, he might be open to ramp.
Or can he tuck clock?
Frozen around the world, takes this lobby space. It's Wonderful right now, who's out maneuvering them. If he goes towards heaven,
it could be wide open.
Navi have so much more cash. If he gets the bomb down, it's another buy.
Diligence, but time sensitive. Heading up the ladder, Frozen will not be able to contest with a plant if it's heaven side.
This is winnable for Wonderful.
That bomb plant's coming. Incendiary seals the deal. Frozen wants to play. Oh, he pushes the through. Plays the broad price. Gets off to the start. And it's Wonderful is denied. Faze fight back. It was do or die. It was everything or nothing.
The plays that this guy is making now are insane. Sticking into Fuse, running through an incendiary when your in-game leader is on the other side on low HP. And he's just run him down. No plan for you.
Understandable. Blade immediately gets on the mic.
How's he done that? Frozen, mate. Where has this come from? Hey, you talk about leaving it all in the server, not regretting a moment.
He is playing it his way. He is doing his thing. He quickly, like within a split second, makes a judgment call. The best way for us to win this round is to run through the incendiary. Carrigan does valiantly here.
Yeah, I said it was a pitter-patter. Well, there's no rain. This one's a downpour. The trade's back and forth.
Straight through, knife out, ready to go. Runs him down, runs around, and gets the kill necessary.
I bet Wonderful can't quite believe it either. One round the difference. Money was there. Timeout taken. Back in with the buys.
The crowd on their feet in awe of what Frozen is doing. Stretching his legs, forward position. Red smoke's usually an indicator. Molly will pull him back. No, it will use it forward. Did Makaze catch a whiff?
I don't think so.
Twist has the jump scare. Makaze's a free frag. Hands him a haircut, does Van Dulkin.
Lexi back to spawn.
Yeah, but Wonderful's looking for Twist's exit. He should have him, that's important. Good find from Wonderful, keeping his major performance up at 2KD in a semi-final.
Wonderful's now the yard lurk. Frozen taking lobby space. Plays being made. Carrigan in main. Jacob in top. Support from Brokey.
Carrigan, he could be a destabilizing force, but nearly gets caught. Still stands his ground for one. Navi up the end. A quick flick out of Brokey's orb. He needs a lot more. It's another one. Brokey, have you got it? Yes, he has. Brokey on his bullshit just when they needed it.
Clutch after clutch after clutch.
Welcome to the Faze Clan show.
This is that DNA Carrigan talking about. You're either born with it or you're not.
We go again. Rounds tied up. 11-11. Let me see that one again. DJ, rewind. Just like that, and then ready for the next. That's it. Brokey combat orping. Back to back top 10 player, showing his pedigree.
Top off.
Okay, quick from Carrigan again. He's passing his test. Carrigan refusing. He's not giving up this side, not without a fight. Navi just running into their demise. Can you believe we are here, round 23, and it feels like it's Faze's? Remember Ancient. Hell, remember the first half of Nuke. To take map point first. repeatedly drawn our attention to the pressures Carrigan's under in that position. He has had multiple A stars in back-to-back rounds. Rising to the occasion. It's a major semi-final after all.
Can Navi take us to overtime? One misstep for Carrigan now gives away the opener. Makazi still trying to take this space. Wall after wall, sequence after sequence, all the patterns that have been run. And he gets across again. This time, Twist not there to greet him. Frozen drops down to the lower deck, softening up top side, removing players top hut. Jacob tucking in CT vent. Does Makazi play first? Brokey joining Frozen. Right now the defense is split 2-3. Carrigan also back of Warehouse. It's really just Jacob and Twist over towards A.
It's the Brokey find I'm interested in. And Orpa just holding his eye to the scope, assisted by Frozen. And now Makazi's gone down. How often has he gone down with no frags, no output? An opening kill for Faze Clan.
Twist is smoked off. Pressure on Jacob.
Okay, Jacob. They're pathing in. He gets tagged up, doesn't panic, drop it. Good find, removes Alexi. Faze Clan, they want to see Inferno. It's just 2 kills away. Bomb now picked up. Wonderful gets his hands on it, but then Twist emerging from the smoke still gets his. It's just bit. Faze Clan just have to remove this man's head, and we see a third map. Budapest. 20 seconds, and we go the distance.
Take a bow, Faze. The show goes on. This one's far from over.
C'est pas grave.